Good morning. Good morning, you.
Good morning. We're both in blue. I just realised this. I looked in the screen.
And we're back to it. It feels like ages, doesn't it?
I know.
So we're really happy. We've got a great 3 hours. Got so many new products. Loads of gorgeous summer bedding.
Yeah, there's loads of summer bedding over there. There's a few bits of summer bedding over here. Some of my absolute favourites, though. This one, the Euphorbia. I've got this. It is stunning.
I don't have that variety, but it's...
it's so pretty.
And we have got an amazing deal on our Oleanders as well. If you don't know who we are, my name's Shaun Ryan.
And I am Bex Edwards. And we are YGTV.
We are, which stands for YouGarden TV. Amazing deals on the show. Some things you need to know. We like to give you a free gift. And today's free gift is this absolutely gorgeous peony, Sarah Bernhardt. To get this is really simple. All you need to do is put in that special code, which is YGTV.
1224. Is that correct? 1224? No, I didn't think so. I thought that was last week's code. I think
it should
it's 1324.
Yes. Don't use that code. Don't.
It's 1324. YGTV 1324 is this week's magic code. That will change in a second.
There you go.
And by entering that code, there's a little section when you place your order. It says, do you have an offer code? Yes, you do. Enter that code. It unlocks all of the deals. Buy one, get one free. Double up deals, savings. But it also puts this beautiful Sarah Bernhardt peony as a free gift into your basket.
And we did sell that for £9.99.
We did.
So bear that in mind. And if you place lots of separate orders, and sometimes it works out better to do that, you will get lots of free peonies.
Yeah.
I think peonies look good in 3, so place 3 orders and you get 3 of those.
Why
now,
not?
if you want to save on your postage, then all you need to do, and it's very easy at this time of year, just get yourself some compost, spend over £40 free postage.
That's it, absolutely. Free postage no matter how many items you order, which is absolutely fantastic. Oh, what's he saying? Most affordable item today is £3.99. What is it? Is it the pots?
Oh, I know what it is. It says pots,
yeah, I thought
isn't
it was. It's the terrinos.
Yeah.
These, £3.99. You get 3 of these. I've got these at home. They're really handy, actually, for lovely little bits of summer bedding and things like that. If you put one of those into your basket and use the code and it tips you over that £40, it's amazing. But if you just place it as an order on its own and put the code in, you'll still get your free peony as well.
Yeah, so it's all about getting the most from the show and saving as much money as you can. Should we begin, though, with our Oleanders?
Yes,
because
please.
This is a brand new offer for today's show. Bex and I were literally just out in the nursery 10 minutes ago.
Wow.
The sun was shining. It wasn't raining. I know. And it's still shining and it's still dry. But these were there in full, I want to say in full bloom, but in full bud. And some of these are already beginning to flower. And these are our prize Oleanders. Buy one, get one free. I mean, at £15 each. The value today is amazing.
Fab, it's buy one, get one free. I just want to reiterate that. It is a buy one, get one free. It is absolutely incredible. All you have to do is put one in your basket, enter the code YGTV1324, and another one will magically appear, as well as your free gift.
I tell you what, if you haven't got Oleanders, you'll have seen them abroad if you've been to Spain, France, Italy, America.
Yeah.
They're the most stunning plants. But the great news is you can actually grow them very nicely in the UK. How do we say it's a -5?
Yeah, so to be honest, in all but the worst of the winter weather, these are going to be absolutely fine. But even if they do need a little bit of extra winter protection, it's very easy to do, isn't it? Look at those roots.
Now, YouGarden have sold Oleanders for many, many years, but they now work with what we believe to be the best breeder in the world in Sicily. It's a family-run business.
It is indeed, and there's actually a waiting list to be able to work with this particular breeder because they're so very popular. Weren't you saying it took us 2 years to get to the top of that
That's
list?
what our head gardener, Peter McDermott, he told me. He said, we had to wait 2 years to actually be accepted.
But now we've been working with them for quite a while.
Yeah.
Got a really good relationship.
And we honestly have never seen quality quite like this. All the plants are very evenly grown. The foliage is delightful. Now, they normally flower kind of May to October, November, but these are pretty much all in bud right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all in bud. So it's really, really interesting. And you get these gorgeous shades of pink that appear on here. And they're so low maintenance. There's very little that you need to do to these. You know, they grow in a nice, neat shape. Very minimal pruning that's required. But evergreen as well. So you have glorious evergreen foliage.
And Bex and I, we love being in our gardens every single second we can. But if you're somebody that maybe goes away a lot, doesn't have a lot of time, these thrive on neglect.
That is my favourite line.
Yeah,
when it comes
thrive
to
on neglect.
Thrive on neglect.
Yes.
Love it.
You know, some plants, it's like you turn your back and it's like, oh no, you've wilted, you've dropped all your leaves, you've died. But these thrive on neglect. Very important, you cannot eat any part of the oleander, and that's humans and all pets as well. So do bear that in mind.
Yeah, it's if you are pruning, it's well worth wearing a pair of gloves. But we always do when we're gardening anyway, don't we?
We do, but just to protect you from the sap and things like that. But just enjoy them, feel like you're abroad. They're really hard to get hold of in the UK, full stop oleanders
Yeah,
now.
they really are tricky. Like I remember last year, we were one of the only suppliers that had them.
Yeah,
it was really tricky to get hold of these.
I just love them. We haven't planted ours yet, by the way. We'll tell you about the pots in a few moments' time. But let's just show you how these work in your basket this morning. It's dead easy, isn't it, Bex?
Yeah, really, really simple. Just put one in your basket. Stu has also put our Torino in there as well. So we've got one of each in there. Now down there, look, that's the box you're looking for. Do you have an offer code? Yes, you do. YGTV1324. Apply the code and check out the magic that happens in here, okay? So we've got 2 free Torinos, because it's a buy one, get 2 free on that one.
That's good, isn't it?
We've got our free Sarah Bernhardt peony, which I think is one of the best peonies that we bring you, and we've got a free oleander in there as well. So just check out your spending and your saving. That is absolutely incredible. Now we've spent, it's £40.97. Total saving, we are saving nearly £50 there. That's absolutely incredible.
Do you know what's bugging me a bit, Bex?
Yeah, go on.
We're still paying delivery.
I know, and I don't want to.
So, if we add one other item and get the order to over £40, you get free delivery. What about these pots, Bex? You chose these, didn't you?
Yeah, I think they're really, really pretty. I think that, these are plastic pots, and I do want to point this out because I actually went to a garden centre recently to check out the plastic pots, because we always talk about the quality of our pots here, them being plastic, UV stabilised, frost resistant, and how they look absolutely incredible. So I went to a garden centre to compare, and they really, what we say is absolutely true. They do look incredible. You would not know that these are plastic. They've got a gorgeous finish to them.
Now, Bex, I know I've not done many shows in the last week or so. I didn't know.
Not here, but you've done a lot.
Yeah, no, yeah, but not here. Although I was with Dave the Plantman last week, and he was amazing.
You were, weren't you? Yeah.
But this offer is the best we've done by far.
It's incredible. It's a double up deal.
Yeah, so they're working out £14 each.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because we looked at these about a month ago, and Bex and I both loved them, but they were just a little bit out of our price range. So on our website, what is it? 99 each if you buy 2 or more. But because of our offer code, ours is way low, isn't it? Ours works out. There you go. 14
each. And I love the square pots. Like, round pots are great, but I think square pots, they just have a little bit of designer edge to them, don't they? And these are gorgeous. They've got the lovely kind of hammered metal look to the top, the stone bit at the bottom. They're really, really pretty.
And just to clarify, the square planters are on what we call a double up deal.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. So you need to put 2 in your basket to get that offer. Hey, what's happened to our postage as well? So if you buy one, it's $22.99, but watch this, bing, and it's only £14 each, and the postage has disappeared.
Absolutely, and look, we are still saving more than we are spending, and you can also save a little bit more today. For anybody that is a new viewer, I think there was a new viewer in the chat earlier, Kathy, wasn't it? Good morning to you. If you want to save a little bit more money, then do think about joining our club. It costs just £5 to enter. And that lasts you for a full 12 months. So it's £5 for 12 months. But what happens is that you're going to then save 10% on pretty much everything that you order from us within the next 12 months. God. It's a good club to be a part of, particularly if you do a lot of garden shopping.
Yeah, and I know, let's be perfectly honest, we've had a pretty wet February, March. It's not been cold, but I always think things do even themselves out to some degree.
Yeah.
And the sun is shining. The clock's spring forward this Sunday.
It's this week, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I've taken Sunday off, because I mean, without that extra hour's sleep, I mean, you don't want to see me. Seriously. But yeah, it just means it's going to be light till 7:30 Sunday evening.
It's going to be brilliant. I'm actually wearing a shirt for the first time in months. Normally jumpers in the potting shed, but not today, because it's nice and warm.
And my gilet is hanging up over there. My famous gilet,
Gone.
gone for the summer.
Sorry, Daniel, if you're watching. The Julie will be back.
But we've got a brilliant show. If you want to be part of the show, we'd love that. We've got a few hellos to say.
Yeah, we have good morning, Anne. Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Philip. Thank you so much for your company. Oh, Philip's Sunflower Sensation is out for delivery.
Great.
Yes, that was a pre-order. You're absolutely right. So that'll be out for delivery very soon.
Morning, Penny. Hello.
And Adam as well. Hello, good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us
Is that
on
your
this
Adam?
Wednesday morning. Probably.
Clay soil Adam?
Clay soil Adam.
Yes.
Probably.
I say your Adam, don't get the wrong idea at home. You know, it's like your Adam.
My Adam.
We say Bex's Adam because they've both got clay soil, so they've got a little bit of... what's the word?
My brother in clay soil.
I was going to say gardening chemistry, but that's even worse.
No, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Gardening chemistry.
Yeah, there you go.
For sure.
But please be part of the show. You can email, of course, direct to the gallery, ygtv@yougarden.com.
Yeah, send us your pictures, please.
Yeah.
We have loads of pictures on Sunday. I don't think we managed to get to show them all, but we'll do our best to show any pictures you want to send us. If there's anything you're excited about in your garden, or maybe you want to show us pictures from last year, what you're looking forward to this year, we love seeing those pictures, so please do send them in.
We've got such a great show, though, haven't we? We really have. Right, if you want the oleanders, the pink, we actually... Bex and I were both saying, out of all the oleanders, because you can get reds, yellows, white, but we think the pink is most beautiful, don't we?
I love it. I think it's really gorgeous, and you get lots of different shades of pink on here as well. I mean, you can see as the buds are opening, you've got those kind of really dark pink ones, but then on the ones Sean's got there, look at that flower opening up and the shades that you get within there. It's so beautiful. Now,
they love a sunny position, they love well-drained soil. As we said, they thrive on neglect. Pruning-wise, what I tend to do, if some of the flower buds have gone over, just chop them off. So do wear protective gloves, but chop them off about, 10 centimetres?
Yeah, about
but they're really easy to look after, and they really will transform your garden into a Mediterranean paradise.
They really will. Just so easy to look after. Remember, thrive on neglect.
Yes.
It's one of the favourite things.
So if you decide you're going to go away for months in summer, don't worry, you'll come back and they should still be doing fine.
Absolutely. Well, they grow freely at the side of roads. You know? They really don't need all the mollycoddling.
I mean, sometimes in countries like Spain, they may not get a drop of water for several weeks.
Exactly.
We say hardy to -5, but actually, if these get well established, they can be more harder than that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And now's the perfect time because you'll plant these and obviously they've got all of the rest of the spring and summertime to really get established. So you'll be fine come the winter.
But just remember, don't eat any part of the oleander, and that applies to you and your pets.
Absolutely. Right, let's go.
But there's lots, I mean, to be fair, there's lots of plants in the garden.
There's so many.
There are.
There's so many.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a dog, I've got a cat, and there's lots of plants you have to be careful
of. Oh my God, there's, actually like... what was it? Snowdrops.
Yes,
Snowdrops are one of them.
Daffodil
I've got
bulbs.
loads of snowdrops.
So, do use your own discretion. Right.
Exactly.
Where should we go, Bex?
Summer bedding, right to the end.
Oh, now, this is what makes me happy.
You love like coffee and a donut? No.
Hang on, I can't hear Stu. Where's Stu gone? Can you hear him?
there.
Oh, I've lost him.
That's why I was trying to herd you, because he was saying, move!
Oh, I can't hear you, Stu.
Have you got him?
I've come undone.
No, he's lost his thing.
There's a song called Come Undone.
Is there?
Yeah, Duran Duran.
Just going off on a slight tangent
Yeah,
here.
I know.
Well, Sean sorts out his talk back.
You've got to be a Duran Duran fan to know the song Come Undone.
Can you hear him now?
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
So Stu talks to us with these things, you see. We're lost without him, aren't we?
Do you need some help? Do you want me to catch it? Or
I think.
All right, good.
Yeah. Done this for about 25 years. I can. Yeah.
We know what we're doing now, don't we?
We are live, by the way. Do you know what I love about being in the potting shed? There's no airs and graces. It's real, isn't it?
It's very, very real.
I even showed a bit of my bottom once, didn't I? By mistake. We lost all our viewers instantly. But but let's talk about summer bedding. And I do love summer bedding because really for many years I had a small garden. So it was lots of pots and lots of summer bedding.
Yeah, it's perfect. But it's a great way to add loads of colour into your garden very easily for a long time over the summer, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And we've got we've got lots of different size plugs. So depending on how much time you've got, what budget you've got, we've got plug plants for everybody, from the pro plugs, which are the smallest, right to the garden ready ones and everything in between. But these are Begonia Sahara. I like these because, again, these are easy.
So
really
easy. So easy, but really long flowering season from these. Because honestly, these will keep going for you right the way from, probably about May time, because you're going to get these home, pot them on and grow them on. But about May, these are going to start flowering for you. But these can keep going right the way through to October, maybe even into November. We're going to have mild. It's been the tradition, hasn't it, for the last 5, 6, I don't know how many years. It's mild in September and October.
We're now your weather forecasters too, and we're going to say really hot summer and mild. But you're right. No, but you're right.
It's true.
October, November have been a lot milder in the last 7 years. These are often grown in commercial areas, so like roundabouts.
Absolutely,
and if you go to maybe a shopping centre and there's outdoor spaces, because they are really easy and very weather resistant as well.
Very, very weather resistant. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter whether it's sort of a sunny spot, a part shady spot. It doesn't matter if we've got a hot, dry summer or a sort of wet summer. Begonia Sahara, well, begonias in general, but certainly Begonia Sahara as well. They really can cope with all of that. And I love that little yellow spot in the centre. It really just highlights all of those gorgeous colours around it.
And I adore the foliage because you've got green and you've got bronze as well. So different colour foliage. You've got pinks, you've got reds, you've got the lovely whites there as well. But it is all about... I love gardening, and Bex, we both adore gardening, but sometimes you don't have enough hours in the day. So you need some... I read somewhere 70% of your garden should be easy, and then 30% should be a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
So if it's all tricky, it becomes a labour of love. So let's should we go to what you do with these, Bex?
Yeah, because these are the pro plugs, and it's important to point this out to you. You don't have to be a pro at all. This is something that we can all do. A pro plug just means that it's a smaller plug. We have various different sizes of plugs. We have jumbo plugs, garden ready plugs. These are the pro ones. So what you're going to do with these is just pop them on and grow them on. That's all you need to do. It's the same that you would do with another plug plant, a larger plug plant. Just pot it on, grow it on somewhere frost-free, and then once all the danger of frost has passed, that's when you can actually plant it out, outside, wherever it is it's going to go.
And it is amazing at this time of year, where, now it's getting warmer and you've got 12 hours of daylight or so.
Yeah, everything's going to take off now, isn't it?
Things are going really quickly. And I never throw any pots away. So if I ever buy a plant that's in a pot, you keep it. And then just literally get our premium professional compost, pot that up, keep it frost-free. If you've got a greenhouse, great. But I mean, Bex is using her conservatory as a massive greenhouse. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you very much.
You told your Kev that, no, this is no longer a conservatory, it's a greenhouse.
Yeah, have a little look. There's my Facebook and Instagram page. I've done a couple recently, which is my greenhouse, also known as a conservatory.
Oh, it's great. It really is.
It's awesome. Love it. I just need some benches and stuff in there now. I'm going to turn it into a proper full-on greenhouse.
It's like a really big greenhouse if you use it that. I'm lucky. I do have a greenhouse. I've only had it about 8 months, so it's the first proper greenhouse I've had. I always had the plastic ones before. But if you want to see because I've got loads of plug plants growing in there. Shaun, my presenter and plant man. But yeah, a little bit of work. And what I do to get these out, you can either squeeze the little compartments, but actually, do you find like a little stick underneath helps sometimes?
Yeah, you can poke the little stick through. I tend to squeeze to get them out, and that just softens it slightly, and then you can pull them out without doing any damage.
But this is the only bit you've got to be a little bit careful of. And I'll be honest, sometimes tugging the leaves, you can break one, so it just depends. I prefer to put a little stick there and just push them through, and then they just drop out.
And they drop out, and there's no damage to them at all. But obviously, we've done some of the hard work for you. These have been started off. All you now need to do is pop those on and grow those on. And
Bex and I, we have been putting a lot more content on the website. So if you look at these plants on the website, there's a little what they call reel.
A reel? We
used to call it a video in our day. But there's a little reel that shows you exactly what to do in terms of potting these on and growing them on.
Yeah, it's really simple.
But it's the most affordable way of getting summer bedding. And I think we love the journey, taking that little plug plant, growing it on, and then really getting the benefit all summer long.
Yeah, it's a good point actually what you said about it being more affordable, because because these are pro plugs and they're smaller, that means they are more cost effective. If we were to go for 40 jumbo plugs, for example, obviously the cost would be much higher. So it's a really good way of getting value for money.
Yeah, and they grow about 25 by 25 centimetres in total. There's a little video.
Is that you? Oh, yeah.
They look like my hands. Do they look? Yeah, they're old and ugly. Yeah, they're my hands. There you go. Little, that's what I always do.
Oh, very good.
Only because sometimes I've damaged the leaves by pulling them out.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
With my big clumsy hands.
Oh, and there's the propagator kits. They're really good, actually,
you've
for
got
growing
those,
stuff on.
haven't you?
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
those on. So I use those to grow my sweet pea seeds
Yeah.
in, actually. But they're perfect for just growing on those pro plugs.
Great reviews on those as well, Nelly. All 5-star reviews. That's the Begonia Sahara, 40 of the pro plugs for just $14.99. Club members, $13.49 for those.
I know.
And when you think what 40 plants will cover, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's well worth joining that club to get that extra 10% discount.
Now, I know you like your really kind of pretty feminine flowers, don't you?
I do indeed,
Like the
yeah.
femme fatale.
Femme
comedian.
fatale.
So when I saw this, I thought of you.
Did you?
Yeah. Do you really like this
I
one?
do love
Yeah.
it.
I just really pretty these.
Busy Lizzies are just some of the, just the most exciting flowers, aren't they? Because they just last for such a long time. You've got some glorious shades within here as well. And these are coming to you as slightly larger plugs.
Yes.
So these are still going to need a little bit of growing on, but these are just slightly larger. So again, just pop these on, grow them on, and then plant them out once once the frost has passed. But the flowers you get on here, they're almost like tiny roses, aren't they? And I really like that. Loads of petals included.
Well,
they
doubles. Most Busy Lizzies or Impatiens, like on Busy Lizzies, they're singles, and these are doubles, so they're far more beautiful. Aren't
Absolutely. And this particular variety, they've been bred to be highly resistant to that horrible downy mildew thing that happened a few years ago.
Yeah. So remember, you'll remember. It's quite a while ago now, but yeah, literally Busy Lizzies disappeared overnight.
Just completely lost because of downy mildew, but these have been specifically bred to be resistant to that, so you shouldn't have any problems there.
So it's a bigger plug. They will need a little bit of growing on, and they need to be kept frost-free. Now, we'll be honest, I've just touched these, and one of them's a bit dry. And when you receive your plants, because they've been in the post for a day or two, they're in the little greenhouses in all recycled packaging, but I put them in a bowl of water. Now, I said half an hour the other week, but you know what? I did some the other day, and actually they rehydrated in about
They do it very quickly, don't they?
5 minutes.
I think particularly the size of these plugs, they really don't need a huge amount of time.
But put them in a bowl of water for several minutes, they'll rehydrate, and then pot them up. But I think they're just gorgeous bags.
Yeah, they're really, really pretty, aren't they? They're robust, they're durable, they last for a really long time as well. Sort of around maybe June time, these are going to start flowering for you. And again, these are going to be ones that go right through to those first frosts for you as well. So right the way through till probably about October time.
Although, having said that, bags, look,
Is there a little bud there?
Yeah.
There is.
So you may...
Tiny little bud just starting to appear.
There you go. So you may get flowers even earlier.
Wow.
Do you know what? Whenever we give times of things nowadays,
Yeah,
Bex
it's
and
hard,
I,
isn't it?
Yeah, we caveat because it's like with climate change, things are flowering at random times,
We
aren't
don't
they?
know, and obviously it also depends on where you live
Yeah.
and everything, doesn't it?
If you live in Edinburgh, they may come out a little bit later than those of you watching from Brighton. But you never know, do you?
No, absolutely, absolutely.
But they're absolutely gorgeous. They are doubles. They're called the Glimmer Collection. What's item number, Bex?
401528. Do remember to use the code YGTV1324, particularly if you're going for that double up deal, because that's where the savings will appear in your basket.
And don't forget your free gift. You will get that gorgeous Sarah Bernhardt peony worth £10 with every single order. I would definitely double up on that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would definitely double up. And in order to do that, you need to add the 2 6-packs into your basket. There is a 12-pack. Don't order that one.
Oh, it's
because
more,
that
is
costs
it?
you more.
Yeah.
Put 2 of the 6-packs into your basket. You'll get bigger savings, basically. Make sure you use that code, and you'll still get the savings plus the free peony.
I tell you what, I'm so happy today. Yeah.
We're back in the potting shed. We're back together.
And it's nearly summer. Well, not nearly summer, no, but it's, summer, British summertime officially begins this Sunday.
Absolutely.
And I always feel it's that relief making it through another winter.
I know.
You know what I mean? And that sounds dramatic, doesn't it?
No, but it's true, isn't it? And I think a lot of us feel it. We definitely feel that seasonal affective.
Yeah, we had days we were a little bit down, didn't we?
Really down. It's hard, isn't it, to get through it? But do you know what? Lighter days are coming. It's all good. It's all good.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to? I just want to sit in the garden.
With a glass of wine?
Yeah. At 7:30, and because it's going to be light till 7:30, and just enjoy the sunset and things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we are going to move on to garden ready pansy cool wave berries and cream. I love this colour palette.
Yeah, Ooh. It is it's quite. It's quite high end, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful.
High end. It is, isn't it? Sophisticated.
Sophisticated,
yeah.
sure.
there's another garden supplier who's, I won't mention their name.
Her name.
Yes, you see, you've got it straight away.
Exactly
yeah.
Right. Her name.
A friend of mine loves her products and they're great, but it reminds me of that certain...
That colour palette.
Yeah, but I just think our value is incredible.
Yeah, it is actually, because you're getting 10 garden-ready plants here for £11.69 if you're in the club. And these are very much garden-ready. These ones are winter-hardy as well. So, ridiculously winter-hardy. These aren't a problem at all. You can plant these out. These aren't going to be an issue. And these are going to flower. Well, I mean, they normally flower for you right the way through till sort of June time, don't they? These flower over the winter and into June time. So if you're waiting for your summer bedding and things, this is potentially one to get going because this will get going really, really quickly.
Do you know, I'm just looking there. They're gorgeous,
They're
aren't
really
they?
pretty flowers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Lovely colour.
And they do, this particular variety, not only are they massively repeat flying, but they do gently trail and cascade.
Yeah, they're perfect for hanging baskets. But also, if you're going for those Torino pots, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Though, that pack of 3, the buy one, get 2 free, these would be absolutely perfect in there because they go to about, 30 by 30 centimetres-ish. They will tumble and trail over the edge of there. And you're getting 10 of those. You could probably get away with 1 in each, but I'd put 2 or 3 even in, and you'd still have a couple left over, no problem.
Postage-wise, I know we said that you get free PMP when you spend over £40, but if you're not spending over £40, you only pay postage once. So it's not on every item, so do bear that in mind. If you're maybe buying 3 items, you'd only pay that 1 postage to cover those 3 items if they're under £40. Should we show the sizes? Because these are big. These are ready to go in the garden right now. Obviously, these are fully winter hardy, so you don't have to worry about frosts, as we were saying. But look at this.
These are well watered. Hang on, let me give it a squeeze. I could feel the water there. Oh, yeah.
Look at these.
Check out the size. Look at the size of those.
That's really
Look
healthy,
at those
isn't it?
roots. I mean, it's those white... We know the quality when we see white fibrous roots like that. That is a healthy plant. It's got a really good root structure. That is what a garden-ready plant looks like. It is absolutely raring to go. It just wants to be planted. Get that into your hanging baskets, get that into your window boxes, into pots where it's going to just gently tumble, cascade. You could even plant these out into borders quite happily.
Oh, yeah.
A trailing plant can happily work, in the ground. It just kind of creates beautiful ground cover.
I just love those. I've grown them many, many years. But the great news is they are ready to brighten up the garden right now. And actually, I think a lot of people's gardens maybe are not looking their best right now because we've had a lot of rain. Not a lot of sunshine. So if you're just looking at, maybe you've got a few pots that look a little bit miserable right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of my bulbs have gone over now.
Yeah.
So all my crocuses have had it.
Yeah, the crocuses are gone.
Yeah,
the tulips are just coming out there.
Oh, yeah, your tulips are amazing.
Fantastic at the moment.
But if you've got a few pots that are looking a little bit sad, you can brighten them up instantly with a pansy cube. We have 10 garden-ready plants, $12.99. The club price, $11.69. Apparently that's a better price than we did last year.
Amazing.
Yes.
Love that.
Right. Power Daisies coming up next. Come on. Power. What are Power Daisies? These are powerful daisies.
Power Rangers.
Do you know what? We saw these, and first of all, the size of the plugs.
Yeah.
These are jumbo plugs. They are really impressive, aren't they?
They really are impressive. Jumbo plugs. I mean, I think jumbo plugs are slightly larger than the garden-ready plugs. They're pretty much garden-ready plugs, aren't they, jumbo plugs?
Yeah,
they are a really good size. They've been grown on by our growers. They are perfect.
I mean, that's ready to go in the ground, isn't it?
I think so.
I'd put it in there.
Yeah, I mean, these are pretty hardy. So these are classed as sort of hardy annuals because these are going to flower right the way through into winter time for you. So these, I would probably plant these straight out into the ground.
Yeah, I think I would. Because they will tolerate a bit of frost, won't they?
They will tolerate a bit of frost, absolutely, yeah. But hardy annual, so normal flowering time for these, even though one is in flower now, we're normally talking anywhere from sort of May right the way through to November, December. But this one is in flower, so who knows, hey? So yeah, they get a really long flowering season from these, and because they have that frost tolerance to them as well, they're absolutely fantastic. They're relatively new. I think they came around about 2016. They're bred from calendula. and they flower for such a long time, and with that hardiness as well, it means it's just going to add these beautiful tango, orange, bright sunshine yellow mix into your garden. Blooms on them can be 2 inches in diameter as well, 2-3 inches in diameter, so you get some really nice big flowers on there.
Well, I had these last year, and I actually put them in my sort of like Mediterranean area. And
I bet that looked good.
It did, and I chose them over marigolds because sometimes marigolds, the slugs love them too much.
Yeah.
And the slugs didn't seem to go for these.
No?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I don't get many slugs in my garden.
You're in the countryside,
yes,
aren't
I think the birds like take care of them. But yeah, these just seem to really do well. They love the sunshine, they're in a sunny spot.
Yeah.
But I like the kind of bushy nature of them. The foliage is really strong. And I like the simplicity of the flowers.
Yeah, I think they're really pretty, aren't they?
Yeah.
And do you know what? They're quite hardy, they're quite easy to grow, they're fairly, they're disease resistant, they're weather resistant. And actually, a good point with these, because these flower right the way through into, the later months, they're actually a really good one to have in your garden for the pollinators. When there's not much else going on, there's something for those pollinators to feed on.
Now, Bex, question: would you have them separate like that, or would you mix them?
I don't know, I like the mixture personally, but looking at that picture, having them separated actually looks really pretty, doesn't it? But
you've got 12. You could do a bit of both, couldn't you?
Absolutely, and they've been put together like this because they do complement each other. Those lovely kind of more edging towards the hot colour scheme that looks really beautiful together.
And I learned something that the other week at the garden club that I run. We had Nick Bailey there, who's from, he does like a little bit of Gardeners World and things like that. And he's a brilliant garden designer.
Yeah.
And he said if you've got strong colours, say if you've got a long narrow garden, if you've got maybe a toast has a long narrow garden, if you put strong colours at the back, it brings the garden forward. Whereas if you've got a garden that's a bit shallow, if you put lighter colours there, like pastels, it extends the garden.
Yeah,
simple stuff, isn't it? But
it's really interesting because it's like interior design principles, but in your garden.
Yeah.
Those sorts of things work just the same outside as inside.
And when I think there's an area of my garden, I had pots of really bright colours last year, and it did bring that whole area closer.
Yeah.
My mum's past, she's heighted, bless her, so she needs strong colours now, so she can see them from a distance. So there were many reasons to go for bright colours, but at the end of the day, they put a smile on your face, don't they?
Yeah, totally.
They really
Sunshine, yellow, daisy-looking flowers, definitely going to put a smile on your face, aren't they?
Yeah, I like those. They're going in my basket today.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Are you going to place a big order this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few days off at the end of the week, so look, we can't guarantee it, but sometimes your orders do come through within a day or two.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had next day deliveries. We don't guarantee that, but yeah, I've had next day deliveries. Depends how quick they're on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we will try to be super, super quick because I want to be out in the garden at Easter, really.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I mean, what's best? Sit on the sofa eating loads of Easter eggs. I know it sounds good.
Can I do a bit of both?
Yeah. I was going to say be out in the garden, being physical and enjoying it, but you want right.
I'm going to do a bit of both. I'm going to be in the garden eating Easter eggs.
Oh, even better. Yeah, scoffing your cream egg on the go. I like that.
I had a cream egg yesterday.
Did you?
It was so good.
I've not had one this year yet.
No, I had a cream egg. It was delicious.
I was getting a bit of a dad bod, as they call it nowadays.
Dad bods are all in.
Do you know what a dad bod is? A dad bod is when you got the belly and stuff, yeah. So I was getting a bit of a dad bod, so I've tried.
Nothing wrong with a dad bod. Nothing wrong with a dad bod.
Well, yeah, but
I'm a big fan.
Really?
I have to be.
Yeah. I've tried to be healthy the past week. So anyway.
Except he says that, and then he brought coffee and donuts this morning.
It was to celebrate being healthy for a week. Anyway, let's remind you of what we've seen so far on YouGarden TV this morning. So we started with these beauties, didn't we?
Yeah, the Begonia Sahara Pro Plug. So you're getting 40 slightly smaller plugs. That's all that means. They will need growing on a little bit before you plant them out. But that's exactly the same as you would be doing with any of the other Pro Plugs. That's any of the other plug plants that you would buy anyway. It represents incredible value for money when you buy a Pro Plug because obviously you're getting more for your money. Just £13.49 if you are in the club, but do make sure that you use the code in order to get the saving. Plus you'll get your free Sarah Bernhardt peony included as well.
Oh yes. Then we've got these gorgeous, I call them Busy Lizzies. It's a double up deal and if you go for 2 packs, you do make that extra £5 saving. And what I love about these, I mean, busy lizzies are great. They don't mind shade, they don't mind sun. They're so easy to grow, but these are doubles. So they are like little rosebuds. They're really pretty and delicate looking. Busy lizzies are easy. I mean, they're called, the nickname is busy lizzies because they are busy, they grow quickly, they don't need a lot of care. As I mentioned, they really do very well in light shade as well as sunshine. Do feed them throughout the summer. I never really deadhead busy lizzies. I mean, I sometimes give them a little brush over, but they will repeat flower. But it is all about the doubles here, and it's called the Glimmer Collection. Double up deal, 2 packs for £14.98. And then this is, this is a selection of all of them, by the way. Right, so these are the pansy with berries and cream. So these are garden ready. Obviously, with them being pansies, they are totally frost resistant. So even if you do get some late frost, these are not going to mind whatsoever. These will gently cascade and trail, so they're ideal for pots and hanging baskets, and they will repeat flower. I mean, these can produce hundreds and hundreds of flowers in a season, if not thousands over the 10 plants. And the colour palette is just gorgeous, isn't it? You know, if you like your cool colours, purples, creams, they just work so well together. £12.99 410 112. And then we brought you the Power Daisy jumbo plugs. These are really interesting actually because they can be planted right now. They will tolerate a little bit of frost as well. So classed almost like as a hardy annual, flower all summer long. And I just love the simplicity of these. So the flowers are these lovely kind of daisy type flowers. They are bright, they're bold, they just look, I think, incredible. And although you can mix and match these, I think they look good all together. So you might decide to do displays of just all yellow, all orange, because they are individually labelled, or you might want to mix them together. But they will flower all summer long. 480393. But Bex, I'm thinking, with all these plants that we're buying today, we need some compost.
Always you need the compost, and what you do need is our premium professional compost, because it's the best, isn't it? It's the absolute best compost that you can get. This is the best-selling item that we bring you at YouGarden TV. For many, many years, this is the best-selling compost.
And the highest rated. It always gets...
Absolutely.
On average, the reviews are always hovering around 4.7, 4.8.
Yeah, and the thing is, once you try this, you will never go back. You will never go back to buying your own compost, because this gets delivered direct to your door, first of all, with absolutely no postage cost included. But it's the results that you will get with this which will make you come back and buy it again. And that's because it is packed with some of the best ingredients. We've got peat in here, renewable peat, the sphagnum moss peat. We've got dark and white peat in here as well. That's really fantastic at water retention and feeding the plants. We've got composted wood fibre. We've got a slow release fertiliser. We've got a pH buffer in here, which is what makes this the compost that you can use for seeds through to trees and everything in between. There are only 2 composts that you need. This or an ericaceous compost. That's it. You don't need to worry about any of the others, because this has been scientifically backed. You know, what we've done is honed it, refined it, and we've got, you know, our head gardener, who has been in the horticultural business since he was toddling, basically.
Gosh, that's nearly 100 years, isn't it?
Such a long time. You know, what he has done.
Sorry, Pete, if you're watching. He's actually my age. So he's only 40.
With his team of experts, he's really refined this to make it the best compost there is.
And do you know what? I love it when people try compost for the first time.
Yeah, I do. It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I know most of you regulars, you know our compost, you buy it en masse. But if you've yet to buy it, and we don't claim to be the very cheapest, you know, you can go to the supermarket and pick something up, but it will not be anything like this compost.
Nope.
And if you love your plants, if you want your garden to look amazing, then it just makes sense to give your plants the best start in life. Composted wood fibre, 3 different blends of peat, slow release fertiliser.
Yeah, lime to balance the pH, a wetting agent to make the water sticky so it runs actually into the compost, not off the compost.
Yeah, you know, if your basket dries out, sometimes you water it and all the water comes over you. Not with this. Amazing texture, smells great, looks great, and it will give you great results. Amazing results, actually.
2 50-litre bags, that's how it comes to you, plus in a cardboard box. So if you want to multi-order and stack and store, you can do.
Now, Bex, well, we both love to save money. I'm thinking if you placed a separate order for the compost, because it's got postage included,
yes,
you would get an extra free gift, the Sarah Bernhardt's peony. So a lot of people sometimes place a separate order for the compost, but it depends how much you're ordering. Sometimes putting the compost in your basket gets the total order to over £40. You get free postage.
Just play with your basket, see what works for you to get the best savings. You know, there's lots of ways that you can save money with us here at YGTV, and that's what we're trying to do, basically. Give you the best deals.
Right. Very important. We have got, for the first time today, a buy one get one free on our Oleander. And Ian has been into. Oh my word!
Ian,
where do you live, Ian? Sorry, no, I'm not. That's one of our standards that are on our website.
That's
now,
beautiful.
Ian, just let us know which part of the country do you live in? Because
excuse me,
was that taken today? West Yorkshire.
Lovely.
Do you know what? That is so good to hear, because if you're thinking, well, I need to live down south to grow an oleander.
Yeah, no, not at all. So he's saying that he fleeces them over winter just to be sure, but they're absolutely beautiful, and 4 years on, still looking amazing.
That's given us so much pleasure seeing those.
And I love seeing it in that square pot as well. I love that idea, because that's what we're suggesting for you here with the oleander bush. You know, we put ours into our square pots. That looks so classy and elegant.
I'm thinking that cannot have been taken today because it's in flower, so it must have been last year.
Maybe.
But then you never know.
Maybe.
Maybe there's a heat wave in West Yorkshire that we don't know about.
Oh, you went a bit Yorkshire then as well, didn't
you? I did. Well, I'm Yorkshire, but I'm North Yorkshire. But my best friends live in Bingley, which is West Yorkshire, Bingley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say Bradford and Bingley, but that's
Bingley's near Bradford, yeah.
Is it a bank or something?
But it was a bank. Is it still going?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Do you know, I'm so advertising for you.
My mum's devastated. Her branch has closed down. Not Bradford and Bingley, another one, but it's closed down.
They're doing that a lot, aren't they?
My poor mum.
Bless her.
It's all online and my mum can't use a computer. No, anyway, enough ranting. Let's talk about oleanders. We work with the best breeder in Sicily for these. Look at the quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at the shape of
excellent quality. And we went out onto the nursery floor just before we went live to have a look at them. And we can attest to the quality. Every single one was so neat. They all look very uniform. The size. These are very much indicative of what you're going to receive, because we saw them all lined up, didn't we? And they all look very, very similar.
And the foliage is just, look at it. It's so perfect.
I love it. It has a lovely upright sort of growth to it as well, doesn't it? I like that kind of upright growth that it has.
Now, in their home countries, hot countries like Spain, France, Italy, America, they can grow several metres high. In the UK, most people grow them in pots, and I personally think that's the best thing to do, because then you can protect them, you can move them to the warmth. They are harder to -5. But in a pot, they're probably only going to grow to about a metre by a metre.
Metre by
maybe
metre,
bigger.
but really nice and bushy as well. You know, you get loads of foliage, and then it just gets topped and sort of smothered in these beautiful shades of pink flowers that you get there.
Now, you do have to be a little bit careful with oleanders, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they are toxic, basically. They're toxic to us, they're toxic to pets, but, you know, there's so many... Oh, there they are, look, can you see all of them? But there's so many plants that we have in our gardens that are toxic, so, you know, just... exercise your caution.
But do not eat any part of the oleander that applies to you and your pets. We do say with pruning as well, because of the sap, do wear protective gloves.
Yeah.
But enjoy them.
Absolutely. My mum's got one. I'll have to get a picture later on in the year once it comes into flower.
This is just a true story to give you an idea. My friend had a huge one of these. He lives in Oney near Milton Keynes. and it was left out in the winter, quite exposed.
Right.
It got down to about -10 this year, didn't it? Or -8.
Yeah, in places.
So the top of it did die. It's cut it back and it's got loads of new growth. So they can survive even lower conditions than -5 when once established.
Yeah, absolutely. You just need to get it out and get it established. That is literally from this morning.
Yes.
That is what we went and did. We had a little wander and we did a little video, which we're hoping to show you maybe tomorrow. But look how uniform they all look. They look great.
Yeah, they do. And these will flower all summer long. I mean, they've got buds now, so you may start getting flowers April all the way through to October and November, and they are evergreen. But the offer, Bex.
Buy one, get one, absolutely free, which is, I think, fantastic. You know how much I love the symmetry, particularly if you're bordering something either side of your seating. Oh, a lovely seating area, a bit like Ian just showed us in his picture. Lovely 2 oleander bushes. Maybe you're going to go for the pots to go with them and have that gorgeous kind of Mediterranean holiday feel. I can just picture it now, sitting outside with my mimosa, with the pots either side of where I'm sitting. I think that would be so pretty.
Oh. I know Alison's just messaged. What did Alison say?
She's going to take the fleece jackets off hers.
Ah, like we've done. We've taken our gilets off. Yes, I thought those pictures from last year, and I was going to say unless it was a heat wave in West Yorkshire. You never know nowadays, do you?
I bet it's going to look even more beautiful this year, though.
Yeah, but thank you for showing those with us,
thank
Ian. I love them. They're absolutely gorgeous, and it is about the quality. Right, we are you all right, Bex? I think were you going to sneeze there?
No, I was scratching.
Oh, I was going to say. I was waiting for this sneeze. It didn't
I had
happen.
an itch.
Right, we've got lots of great pots on the show, and they're a fantastic way of getting your order to over £40. But if your order is hovering around about £38, you're thinking, how can I get it over £40 to get my free postage? These are a great little basket filler, aren't they?
I adore these. I've got these.
You've got primulas in yours, haven't you?
Is it primulas? Yeah, I think I've got primulas in them.
I remember you did a set of 10, didn't you?
I did a set of 10.
You bought loads one day.
Is it these? Or was it, anyway, I've definitely got some of these. I've got some of the round ones
I've got a couple of these.
They're really handy, these, because what I do with these is I put little bits of winter bedding, summer bedding in here. So at the moment, I've got all my tulips and things on the table because we're not sitting outside at the moment. So I've got all the tulips lined up on there. But I use these to put on the table. And then when I'm looking out the kitchen window, I'm looking at pots filled with glorious colour. If you've got a set of steps, for example, and you multi-ordered these, maybe you get 6 of these, you can line them on the steps. I really like the idea. Have you seen them where people do little step ladders?
Yeah.
And they put little pots on the step ladders. I think that is so cute. And these would be the perfect size to do that with.
And they are great, as Bex was saying, just for adding colour for a short period of time. Like, I'm not being funny, but lots of plants are not going to live in a pot that size for many, many years. But for bulbs, summer bedding, winter bedding,
absolutely.
Fantastic. And then it's easy as things go over, like you could have these full of crocuses as they go over, just replant them with something else.
Yeah, and it's so quick and easy to do. Plus, because they are slightly smaller, it means you're not using loads of compost each and every time as well. But it's a really quick and easy way to change the look of your garden.
So I'm smiling because my mum, bless her, my mum's really quite old and frail now, and that she could probably still manage to lift that pot. You know what I mean? Bless her. But yeah, that size pot my mum could actually handle. Bless her. I have to do a big pot.
It's a buy one get 2 free. We don't often do a buy one get 2 free. So I would multi-order these if you can. Maybe go for 6 or 9 or 12 of these because the value on these is absolutely incredible.
Where's at 130? No, it doesn't.
£1.20 a piece if you're in the club.
It's 133. It's 133 a pot.
There you go.
I should never question my maths. Now, who's just messaged about square pots?
Ian? Adam.
Adam just said that square pots go against each other better because there aren't the gaps. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good point.
Absolutely.
Right, so we had a question, which pots are on offer? They are. But these, so honestly, this is by far the best price we've done on the Diablo Square. We did a good deal on the round, but not on the square. This is the best deal that we've ever done. I'm not being funny. If you double up, you get 2 for £27.99, so that's £14 each. That pot to me, if that was £30 in a garden centre, I don't think I'd question that.
No, I absolutely wouldn't, because it looks really quite stunning, doesn't it? You've got that gorgeous, I think it looks like, you know, a stone effect down the bottom here, and then this kind of hammered metal or
it's like a sandstone
kind
of, isn't it? Yeah.
It's so pretty, and the contrast between the two colours and the kind of design you've got there is incredible. Plus that tapered shape going down there, I think, is really attractive as well. And the square pots do have that extra designer edge to them, I think.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I was at Garden Centre the other day, and...
for coffee and cake, not shopping.
Only coffee and cake.
Only coffee and cake.
Actually, I didn't have coffee and cake. I know I won't bore you, but it was a nice... it was a toast with chips.
Oh, nice. All the carbs.
Yeah. Me and my wife trying to be healthy. But there was a massive pot that had been knocked over, and I don't know if it had been blown over, but this pot was, I looked at the price of one of the ones that hadn't been knocked over, 120 quid. And I just said, if that happened to you, if you'd bought a ceramic pot and it had blown over or knocked or cracked in the frost and things, you'd be gutted. These are pretty much indestructible. So UV, they are though, yeah, they really are. UV resistant, frost proof.
I mean, you wouldn't do that.
No.
A terracotta, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean to the pot, but seriously, they really are incredibly hard wearing. They are made of plastic, but it is frost resistant, UV stabilised, strong plastic. There's good plastic and there's bad plastic. This is good plastic, because this is not going to be used for one season and then thrown away, filling, you know, landfill, adding plastic. This is something that you will use for many, many years, because it's been designed to be robust.
Great drainage as well. That is so important nowadays.
Yeah.
Again, I know I've talked about climate change, but I think many plants got a bit waterlogged in, well, January, February, March. Most plants hate having wet roots. Not all, but most do.
Yeah.
So important to have really good drainage in your pots.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's important for them to look nice as well.
Yeah.
If you've got the round ones, maybe you want to go for the family and get the square ones to go with them. I think that'd be a really beautiful look, wouldn't it?
Anyway, I think they're going to fly. I think they're not when they're gone, these, are they?
I think they might be. Are these on rundowns?
Let me just check. I hope not.
They are.
They're not on run. We call it rundown. So when these are gone, they are. Well, they're never coming back.
No, they're never coming back. I know. I don't. They're so pretty, and they fit into so many schemes as well, don't they? Because you've got a real sort of neutral colour base going on there.
That is why the price is so good. So these are not coming back. We call it rundown. It means that we're running the stock down. Now we've got live shows today, tomorrow, and Easter Sunday. Sadly, I'm not here Easter Sunday, but Bex is here with a wonderful Adam.
I am,
and you two are great together, actually.
Thank
you really
you.
are. You are great together.
Thank you.
I love watching. I'll be watching while scoffing Easter eggs at home. I've got the family coming over on Easter Sunday, so yeah, I've got my nieces and stuff.
Oh,
but we'll watch. But I don't know if there's enough stock to last all the live
week.
shows today. Tomorrow we're from 10 till 1 and Sunday 10 till 2.
10 till 2.
And a lot of people streamers, obviously. So if you want them, you've got to get them now. And there's nothing worse than buying a pair of pots, getting them delivered, loving them, and thinking, I'll have some more.
And then we've run out.
Yeah, you'll be
They
gutted.
are on rundown, as we say, so these are not ones that we can reorder in. So if you do love them, please do think about getting them and multi-ordering if you want to.
Yeah.
Did you say tower pots too?
Right now, Bex, I'm going to say Bex is the queen of tower pots.
I love the tower pots. I'm going to put this one down.
And I did see your video. I don't know if it was this morning, yes, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Bex is ahead of me with sweet peas.
I am ahead, aren't I? I'm not normally ahead of Sean, but I'm ahead.
Yeah, listen, it could
We're
be
having a sweet pea competition.
Could be the tortoise and the snail competition, okay? I actually had a sweet pea competition with one of my neighbours last year. She bought me some sweet peas and a kit to plant them in for my birthday. And do you know what? Hers was so much better. And she was like, I've won. I was like, because hers germinated quicker. I said, hang on, the competition, it's who gets the best display in the end. And in my opinion, I won.
Well, we'll see what happens later.
But yours are looking rather fabulous, I have to say.
Who wins.
So I've only just planted mine. But Bex, you are the biggest fan of these, aren't you?
Yeah, I really, really love the tower pots. I think there's so many benefits to the tower pots. So I've got 4 of these now. One's got a wisteria, one's got a jasmine. And I ordered 2 because I was going to use one for my sweet peas and another one for something else that climbs. But what I found was I had loads of sweet peas. So I've actually planted up 2 of these with my sweet peas in. So these are for anything that climbs, basically. Now the benefits of this is it is made of plastic. Again, it's this, it's the UV stabilized, frost resistant plastic. So it's designed to last you for many years. This is the good plastic. But what you get from this is a 360-degree display. Sometimes when you've got something climbing, you might want it to go up a fence, over the shed, covering an ugly wall. But sometimes, isn't it beautiful to get that gorgeous 360-degree display?
It really is.
And that's what you can get from this. It's freestanding. Also, if I want to move it, if I want to move home, I can take my wisteria with me.
Move home to have a bigger garden.
There's my wisteria, last September, just all the foliage. It's absolutely glorious. And look how it covers the trellis. But as that wisteria went over, for example, because this is in a freestanding tower pot, I can move it out of the way. So, if things are just coming into looking their best, you can move it front and centre and give it the most gorgeous display. Or if it's going over, you can take it away and you can hide it. These are some of the benefits of going for the tower pot. It's got these lovely big gaps here, so you can get your hand in to help. Some plants need a little bit of help, don't they, just to grab on and wind around. Others just climb happily.
Do you know what I love, Bex? The fact that it's all done for you. It's so easy.
So easy to do.
And the thing is, I've used pots with wooden trellises before, but they're always needing a bit of TLC. They're always rotting or need painting or things like that. And Bex, sometimes if it's something that starts off quite small, you can start. Hang on. I'm clipped in.
Well, that's how it comes to you, by the way. So it comes to you in the 4 separate bits. So you've got the pot at the bottom, and then you can then clip the bits on. So it has these clips here and just the bits at the side, so you can then just clip those into place. So if you don't want to build the whole thing up to start with, you can just do the first bit, wait for the bits to climb up, and then clip the second part on. I don't mind it because I think it looks quite attractive anyway, even while you're waiting for things to climb up.
But I also like the fact that at the end of the season, when your sweet peas have gone over, remember, yours will have gone over before mine, Bex, you can actually just put them back and store them.
Just dismantle it and hide it away somewhere, absolutely.
That is a brilliant price for 2, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great idea. We've done a double-up deal here. Like, if you went for, what's it called, the black-eyed Susans, the ones that grow really quickly, the Thunbergia, these are going to be great for those. If you've got a wisteria, if you've got a jasmine, if you've got your sweet peas, anything that climbs, put it in here. You can have that gorgeous 360-degree display. It's so simple, so easy to use.
And you've got to double up on that. They work out less than £20 each.
It
Great
does
drainage.
have drainage in the bottom, and it actually creates a little trough in the bottom there as well to help hold on to the water. If you want to drill extra holes into the bottom, you absolutely can. To be honest, I have done with a couple of them, and the others I
just asked, why is it so wet in there? Because it's been raining, but not today. That was from yesterday.
It's just outside.
It's dry today. Just a quick reminder, I know we've got a big audience today. If you spend over £40, you get free delivery. So, the tower pots are almost taking you to £40
Absolutely.
to get 2 of those. And with every single separate order today, you get this amazing free gift, this peony, bare root.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful peony. I mean, Sarah Bernhardt was a famous French actress. She was renowned for her beauty, and so you can see why this one in particular has been called or named after Sarah Bernhardt, because it is absolutely gorgeous. The fragrance, the size of the flowers. For the amount of years that you will have this in your garden, peonies last decades, 20, 30 years you can have a peony for. They are quite incredible, and they just get better and better. They will take a year or 2 to establish, so I would like to think that in the first year you might get a couple of flowers, but what you are doing with this is planting a promise that this will give you the most beautiful flowers for so many years.
I only planted mine about 10 days ago, and they're already shooting.
But
mine are in the greenhouse, to be fair.
Amazing.
But they're already shooting. They are in our premium professional compost.
Yeah, that's going to
help.
help.
In a very nice place. Right, we've got so many great deals today. Thank you to everyone that's ordering. We have got a brand new price on our very pretty Eclipse planters. A double-up deal, 2 for $14.98.
Yeah, these are great.
These are pretty, aren't they?
So these are really good for things that climb as well. Obviously, you're going to want a smaller climber, a shorter climber. In fact, do you know what? A couple of sweet peas in there, because they'll just sort of go around it, maybe. But what we have got on the show, it's the Boulevard Clematis collection that we've got on the show, isn't it? Where you get 3 Boulevard Clematis, which are the shorter clematis
they do really
climbers.
well in here.
Well, I've got one of them planted in here. I've got the purple one in here. And because they are a shorter climber, you know, other clematis will grow to 3 metres, they'll go over the other side of the fence. Actually, with the shorter climbing on the boulevard, these work perfectly in here.
I was just thinking, I've finally got a big garden. I always had a smaller garden, and I love having a big garden. But actually, sometimes a smaller garden, you can make it look prettier, easier, especially with all the new varieties, those compact varieties that Bex was talking about. But the great thing is, whatever type of garden you've got, YouGarden, our tagline, is gardening for everyone. So whatever garden you've got, you might just have a little balcony, a courtyard, you might have acres, who knows? But we've got plants for everybody.
Absolutely. So these are going to work brilliantly in a smaller garden. But even if you've got a bigger garden, like yourself, you know, you've got areas where there's little seating areas or little nooks or corners, and these sorts of things work perfectly for those.
Well, you can double up on those. They are 2 for only £14.98 today. 130133.
Is that the lowest price we've done on those? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
That's great.
$7.50 each.
Yeah, and again, these are made of that similar plastic. Again, these are the frost-resistant, UV stabilised. They look beautiful. They're designed to last for many, many years. Drainage in the bottom, raised channels so that you can drain away.
Look, that was the price packs.
Oh, look, $11.99.
Yeah, not now.
Not now. £7.50 each. If you double up, when you double up, make sure you put 2 into your basket. Make sure you enter the code YGTV1324. It's always important to enter that code because that's what gives you the savings. If you don't enter the code, unfortunately, you will end up paying the higher price. And we don't want you to do that. We want you to get the best prices.
Well, can I just say, it is lovely to have your company today. Those of you watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, and of course on the YouGarden website. If you want to email us, you can do that, ygtv@yougarden.com. Very easy to order with YouGarden. It's a very simple process.
Very, very simple. There's 2 places you can go. Go to yougarden.com, which is our website, where you can shop the entire website. If you click onto our show page, you can actually scroll through the items that we're showing you on the show, but you can also shop the entire website as well. You're not just limited to the ones we're bringing you. Just always enter that code, YGTV1324, no matter what it is you're purchasing, because you'll be amazed at some of the discounts that come up.
And if you missed some of the shows last week, we had a couple of special shows. We had Dave the Plant Man talking about Harkness roses, and then our head gardener, here's the older one on the left-hand side. He was here with Greg Wallace.
Yes, he was.
And it was a really interesting show because it was all about grow your own, but what you can do with it food-wise.
Absolutely, because Greg's very much into, you know, cooking your own food,
from scratch,
having the healthiest food possible.
Well, he's lost 5 stone, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's lost.
That's Greg Wallace from obviously the TV cooking shows, and he's kept it off. So you can stream the shows. They're brilliant. I loved the one with Peter and Greg Wallace.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
But I quite liked the one with David Plantman. It was quite interesting.
Quite liked Bex.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. He's got a big social media following, but he's just, what I loved about him, he's...
You were saying he's real. So literally, what he was like before you started the show was exactly what he was like.
Yeah, because
we're the same.
We're just the same. Like we're not. But honestly, between you, like, some presenters, they suddenly a different person from the camera.
Stu just said in my ear, the only difference with you is that you stopped swearing.
It's not true.
How rude!
It's not true.
It's totally true in my case.
No, we don't swear. But I think
I do.
We're probably slightly. Do you know what? We're just probably slightly more articulate in front of the camera, but only slightly, as you know.
Just by the way, one other thing, I was saying about going to yougarden.com to place your order. If you don't fancy going on the website, you can actually phone us as well.
Yes, of course.
0844 502 0050. You can place your order on the phone. Just make sure you say to the operator, I've got an offer code, and tell them that one there, YGTV1324.
And just quickly, because I know we've got new viewers, if you are not a club member, can we just show you how to join the club as well, or should we save that bit? Can we do it now? Because honestly, so if you were a new viewer, you can join the club right now and make a big saving. So all you need to do, there's 2 types of membership. So the green one is auto renewal. It's £5 for the year, normally £20. And all that means is that it will automatically renew at the end of the 12 months, but you can cancel if you wish to. But if you look at the small print, the price will never go up. So even if you're still buying plants from us in 20 years' time, your club membership will stay at £5. Or the £10 one, which is the 1 year membership that will finish at the end of the 12 months. But that will give you 10% off every every plant and accessory order. So imagine saving 10% every time you order on all your plants, your compost, your pots, 5% off every outdoor living and gifts order. That covers things like tools, garden machinery, gifts, but you'll also receive £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers that you can use throughout the year. So that's almost like getting £20 worth of cash back, and you're going to get exclusive offers, competitions and expert advice as well. And you'll get a little memo, a little message as you check out if you're not a member, and all you need to do is put the membership in there and you'll save 10% off your order today. And it's really worth doing. We always have amazing deals on YouGarden. Right, I'm going to go over here and meet my lovely Bex, because we've got loads more plants to share with you, including, now this is a real kind of old favourite, this one, isn't it?
It's a classic, this one, is what I would call this.
I think this brings back lots of memories for people.
Definitely, yeah. It's got that cottage garden feel. It's a definite classic. It's been around for absolutely years, and I think it's a total winner. I haven't got one in my garden, but I am thinking about maybe I should add these in, because what these do, they herald the start of spring. There's certain flowers that you have in your garden that just tell you that particular time of year is coming, and cowslip is beginning of spring.
And yellow, I always think yellow is a colour in the garden. It's just wonderful, isn't it?
I think it is.
I love yellow. It always pops out.
Yeah, definitely.
And works so well with other colours as well.
I love it.
It looks great with purples.
You get these lovely kind of cabbage leaf foliage at the bottom, and then these gorgeous kind of trumpets of flowers, these beautiful yellow flowers that just rise up out the top of here. Total cottage garden favourite. It's perfect for lots of different things, actually. For borders, you can even plant it into lawns, you know, and it, because hopefully you're not mowing your lawn too often. But it's for wildflower gardens, you know, it gives that lovely kind of wildflower feel. Definitely.
Fully winter hardy, of course.
Fully winter hardy, absolutely not a problem. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well, which is a really important accolade. You know, we bring a lot of plants with that Award of Garden Merit, and I never want to underplay what that award means, because it is really, really quite an important accolade. It does mean it's a proven performer. The
testing that plants go through to receive that is huge,
it's massive, honestly. You know, just because we bring a lot of plants that have it doesn't mean it's not important.
I always think, Bex, if I buy a plant that's got the AGM, the Award of Garden Merit, I just know that it's not going to cause me problems. Yeah. You just know that plant's going to be reliable and deliver. Yeah. And this is one of those. And you can divide this. It will grow in clumps. So I tend to divide sort of either spring or autumn time, and literally can dig it up and...
You're quite rough, aren't you?
Yeah, I do. I tend to just sort of like tear apart, but some people use knives and things. Yeah. But yeah, you can divide them and get more and more. And these do look good on mass, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do. And what we're doing today, is it a 3? No, it's a double up. It's a double up deal. So yeah, I think these look great if you can. I mean, 2 of these will be absolutely fine. They'll grow to about 30 by sort of 20 or 30 centimetres, a foot by a foot, and obviously you can divide those if you want to. But if you want to, you know, double up, if you want to multi-order and create a beautiful kind of wild flower look in your garden, you can do that. It's a semi-evergreen perennial plant, so it'll come back for you every single year. It might keep some of its leaves depending on where you are in the country. Others, it might drop those leaves, again, depending on where you are in the country. But it doesn't mind a bit of shade as well.
I was going to say
this is the important thing to say. It doesn't need full sun at all. In fact, it's probably going to be happier in a bit more of a dappled shade setting. Yeah,
it's like me. It doesn't. I mean, I love being outside, but the sun hates me. It really does. Or my skin hates the sun. I don't know which way around it is.
Look at how pretty that is.
Gorgeous.
It's known for attracting pollinators as well. This is a really good plant to have in your garden if you want to attract those pollinators in.
Yeah, I think they're delightful, actually.
Yeah, they really are,
and it is a double up deal, so 2 for £14 and 98 pence. Right, Agapanthus time next.
Okay, yeah, this one's a really pretty.
Yeah, you really love this one, don't you?
I love the colour combination that you get on the... I mean, I love Agapanthus anyway, because I think the shape of the flowers, you know, the firework sort of display that you get from an Agapanthus flower is incredible. But this one, I just think, is set apart from others out there, because look at the bicoloured blooms you're getting on here, the graduation of those colours. I just think it's a breathtaking Agapanthus. You see why it's called firework. fireworks, can't you?
I love that you say the fact that you've got all of that sort of like richer, deeper blue just fade into the pale. Really pretty, this one.
And they last quite a long time as well. Each flower lasts a long time. Imagine what you pay for an Agapanthus as a cut flower.
Oh no, I've seen it. There's a posh supermarket near where I live that I can't afford to shop at anymore, but they sell Agapanthus. Yeah. It's nice. It's a wonderful supermarket.
It's a lovely supermarket.
This is a shorter variety, isn't it?
It is. So this is a much more compact version. So reaching maybe about 40 centimetres in height is what we're talking. So if you want that gorgeous Agapanthus look, but you don't have the size for maybe our Africanus, the big one, then this is absolutely great for maybe front of borders or smaller gardens. It's sort of half hardy. So I think you can plant it out if you want to into borders, but you are going to need to look after it a little bit over the winter. A really good deep layer of mulch.
Depends where you live. I think one of the things we've learned is, because of, again, the amount of rain we've had, there's quite a few plants that hate to be cold and wet. So just bear that in mind. But again, that would do really nicely in a pot, wouldn't it?
Well, this is the thing, and obviously it's up to you what you do with it. Yes, you can plant it out into borders, just think about looking after it over the winter. But 2 reasons why I would potentially keep an Agapanthus in a pot. Number 1 is because of that half-hardiness. It's very easy for you to move it, if it does get a bit too cold or a bit too wet. But the other thing is that Agapanthus like their roots to be restricted.
Yeah.
They want a hug, don't they? So, Shaun, actually, you gave me this tip, because I think, keep it in a pot, don't go too big, because then it feels like it's getting that hug. But you were saying about if you want to plant it out into borders, plant it into like a really full border, because then it feels like it's getting hugged. It feels restricted.
Smallest space that you've got, you can still put this in there.
You can still put it in and it'll feel like it's being restricted. Some people even take the pot and bury the pot in the border as well, because then it still gets, it's still getting that hug that it needs. If you don't keep the roots restricted, and I learnt this to my detriment, I did it myself. If you don't keep the roots restricted, you'll get foliage, but you won't get any flowers.
And you want those gorgeous flowers.
That's what it's for. This is not a foliage plant, this is a flower plant.
Now, it is a double-up deal, so for an extra £4, you will get a second Agapanthus fireworks. 561027. Elaine's just messaged. I've missed Elaine.
Hello, Elaine.
Harry Agapanthus is coming up. Yes, Elaine, I feel I've not spoken to you for... it's nearly 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Hello, East Coast Tropical Gardens.
Yes, we like you.
Nice to hear from you. They want a show full of their favourite things. Ferns, cannas, bananas, phoenix.
Well, I love all those,
we don't do full shows of them, but we pepper them in.
Tell you what, though, because obviously it's getting warmer and we're heading towards summer.
Yeah,
we could do a whole tropical section, couldn't we?
We could, for sure.
We'll look into that.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Yeah, maybe we've got the Mediterranean glass house over there.
Do you think we could do a show from there?
It's a tunnel, actually, but anyway, I'll call it a glass house.
Can we do a show from there, do you reckon?
Yeah.
We'll just do saying, yeah, sure. He's the man in the know.
But we'll look into that, definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to do a Mediterranean or kind of tropical selection. Now, something smells good.
Not me.
I'd like to say it's not me either. It's our Daphne that's joined us.
I'm going to smell her.
We both said, because these are Craig, our lovely Craig, who helps bring all the plants into the studio and selects them, he was saying how delightful these smell, and we both could not believe.
Oh, my word.
And I don't have a good... I can smell this from here.
You don't need to get your nose right in, do you?
Absolutely stunning, isn't it?
The fragrance from a Daphne is probably... I mean, it's sweet, it's heady, it's absolutely beautiful. And it looks so pretty as well, doesn't it?
Mate, seriously, I can smell that from here and I've got the worst sense of smell. That is amazing.
It is glorious.
It's worth buying just for the fragrance, this one.
I really like this one as well because you've got a much longer flowering season on this one. So I've got the Perfume Princess, and that's a shorter flowering season. And it's great, it's beautiful. You get bigger flowers and all the rest of it. But this one flowers for such a long time. It's in flower now and it'll keep going. It's just going to keep going for you.
Now, we should say the shade of pink does vary slightly, so it may be a slightly darker pink, lighter pink. The fragrance is going to be absolutely adorable, though. And what I love about Daphnes is I think they grow really neatly and compact, and they're evergreen.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one is actually a very compact variety. It's nice and slow growing, so it is actually perfect for smaller gardens or areas in your garden where you don't want something to grow massive and too quick.
So I'm laughing because my garden was a YouGarden 3.5 years ago. Not a YouGarden, well, it is a YouGarden, so it's full of YouGarden plants. But some things have already grown too big.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking, thinking, oh, that's too big for there. That needs moving.
Got to move that
needs
around.
going. But this is not going to do that.
No, it absolutely won't. So if you're planting it into borders where you don't want something to take over, brilliant. I think it's perfect to be planted into pots as well, though, because this is potentially a plant where you're going to want it somewhere near where you are going to... I was going to say near where you're going to be able to enjoy the fragrance. It's a really strong fragrance. This will carry on the breeze anyway.
And Stuart, our technical genius, went out and about yesterday on our nursery, and there they all are lined up. And as we mentioned, some of the pinks might be slightly darker.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're all beautiful, though.
They are all absolutely gorgeous. And the thing is, the only sort of top tip to give you here is that they really don't like to get dry roots. So this is an important one for you to water regularly and deeply. And now, by the way, is the best time to plant these out. March, April time or September, October time is the best time to plant these because they've got the best chance of getting really nicely established.
My mum had one of these in her last garden, and I must say it was on the driveways. And I remember getting out of the car when I used to drive to York to see her. She lives near me now. But I'd open the car door, and instantly it was like, oh, I'm here at mum's, and this gorgeous fragrance. They are delightful.
Yeah.
And Daphne's not one of the cheapest plants to buy because they are naturally slow growing, but they're one of the most rewarding. And apologies, somebody did message me, and I've lost the message now. They wanted to know I did a board with verbena and my pampas grass and geraniums, and they asked me what I'd put in it, and I've lost the message now. So if you're watching now, I'll get back to you. Just can you re-message me? But what I was going to say is this lovely board. Did you remember it with the verbena bereniensis? It looks nothing now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because everything's died back apart from the pampas. So if I actually think it needs a few more evergreen things.
Okay, yeah.
And this is. So always bear that in mind. If you've got too many deciduous things and herbaceous and it all dies down, the garden can look quite bleak for many years, or many months of the year, I should say. That is going to give you a lovely foliage all year round.
Lovely foliage all round, but a really long flowering season as well. It's flowering now, and because with this, the flowers appear on the new growth, this really will keep going right the way through the summer.
Really like that one. I think
really
I need some more Daphnes in my garden. Now
I'm wishing I got that one instead of the other one.
Really?
Maybe I'll just get it as well.
Yeah. Now we're going to move, club discount price is $13.47. Now we're going to move on to Buddleia. And now we were talking about Buddleia earlier, and some Buddleias, I'm not going to say look boring because they don't, and when they've got butterflies dancing around, they're amazing. But I've got just the normal purple Buddleia.
Yes.
And it's I like it, it's nice. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's really pretty.
It's really pretty.
Isn't it? Berries and cream.
It's got the mixture of the colours on the flowers there.
Yeah, that's so much nicer.
It's just that added bit of interest, you know? You get lovely whites and purples all mixed in together. Obviously, it's known as the butterfly bush, you know? Butterflies are going to adore it. Bees absolutely adore it. There's lots of plants that you put in your garden to invite pollinators in, but the Buddleia is definitely one, particularly if you want those butterflies in your garden. It's a really exciting new take on the purple Buddleia to get those purple and white flowers together. And the flowers you get on here, each one of those flower heads, we're talking probably 8 inches long. That's a lot, isn't it? And think of every little flower that's on each of those. There's probably hundreds on one particular flower head.
So I was just mesmerised. I was looking close at those flowers.
They're really pretty.
Are they nice? And purple and white, well, it's cream, but they look so beautiful together.
Yeah.
I just think Buddleias sometimes have a bit of a bad reputation because they can look a bit ordinary, I suppose.
Yeah, well...
I love them because the butterflies adore them. And
absolutely, and I think so. Buddleia is so. My friends have a static caravan on this park place, and so they're all quite close together, but they use the Buddleia because it's really fast growing. They use it as a screen, you know, so it's really good. It just kind of screens between their two gardens, between theirs and the next garden. So it's fantastic to use as that because it's really vigorous and fast growing. Plus, they get the added benefit of all those pollinators in their garden.
But if you're going to have a Buddleia, you might as well have like a really pretty one.
Might as well,
Yeah?
absolutely.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's drought tolerant as well. Once you get these established, like they do not need loads of water. This is another one that you pretty much just leave it to do its thing.
I was going to say, if you manage to kill a Buddleia, then you are very special. They are robust. As Bex says, they're really fast growing, but that one is truly beautiful.
Truly.
And a lot of garden designers do plant in 3, so you've got 3 there, so you can really position them beautifully. They do grow to what, 2 metres, 2.5 metres?
Yeah, 2.5 metres, and they will do it quickly. So if you want something fast growing to grow as that screen, this is going to be absolutely brilliant. But you hack it back at the end of the season.
Professional term.
Hack it back.
No, it's true.
But you do. You can really vigorously prune this back, and then each season you'll get amazing growth from it.
That is a fantastic. But it's true, you can really hard prune a Buddleia.
Yeah, and they don't mind at all. In fact, they appreciate it.
And true story, and I'll make it brief, but my mum, when she bought her bungalow many years ago, there was a Buddleia, huge thing, and it was in the wrong place, and it meant that when you got out of the car, it was really kind of like, it was in the way.
Yes.
And she said, oh, I don't want that there. And I said, Mum, but it's beautiful, it's big. And so to cut a story short, I moved it in the middle of summer. Worst thing, this massive Buddleia in the middle of summer, chopped off one of the main roots.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that'll never survive. Moved it, and it looked terrible for about 6 to 8 weeks. Literally overnight, it just flopped.
Yeah.
But it survived, and it ended up beautiful in its new position. And we actually used it as it was a semi-detached bungalow, so we used it as a bit of a divide between her and the neighbour.
It's a really good thing to use for that.
Yeah. So love those. $14.97 for all 3 wicker lights and £5 each. Right, now you've got this one, haven't you?
I have, and it's one of my favourite plants in my garden. It really is, genuinely.
I meant to buy this last year, and I don't know why I didn't, especially with the name Merlot in it. I mean, come on, I am known to like the odd glass of red wine, so this is for me. So you bought it.
I got it and I planted it in my garden, and it genuinely is one of my absolute favourite plants in the garden. It is so, so beautiful. The foliage colour that you get on here, I mean, we'll show you my video, hopefully. Stu's just playing with it. I think my video does so much more than this picture.
Yeah, right.
Genuinely, because
we're going to see, Bex.
I know. You get these lovely wine red, purpley leaves on here, which I always think is really important to have in your garden to break up the green foliage that you get. But you get these lovely kind of frothy, yellowy, lime green flowers on there as well. You get a colour changing thing that happens with the foliage. It's not just this purpley colour. You also get this little kind of greeny, olive green colours going on there as well. It is you just get this sort of festival of colour that happens with it. It's winter hardy, down to -8 probably. I've done nothing with mine. I've just let it do its thing. It's perennial. It'll come back for you every single year. It doesn't mind a little bit of shade. Wildlife adore it. In fact, in one of the videos, you'll be able to see the ladybirds on it, because
I've not seen this. I want to see this video now.
It's so pretty. I think this is going to be my top tip for the shows this week. I think it's one of the best things you can plant.
And one thing I've learned with gardens, so me and my other half, Joe, we designed a brand new garden between us, and we've not got it 100% right, but we get in there, and it's quite often not just about different textures, but it is different colours, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that colour of this euphorbia is incredible. And actually, I've got a few euphorbias that are different shades of green, and what I really should do is mix this in with them, and I think it looks spectacular.
Yeah, and it's so easy. Honestly, I planted it and I've done nothing to it. Now, admittedly...
And has it flowered, Bex?
It's in flower right now.
Right now?
Right now, so it's in flower.
It's early then, isn't it?
Well, it's normally about April time, and it'll flower on and off all the way through.
Mine aren't there yet.
Yeah, I've got flower. There.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh,
Look,
I see what you mean.
There's the lovely little flowers on there.
Oh,
I should have moved it, because you've got the bright purple foliage, but underneath you've got this lovely green coloured foliage in there as well. It's a real standout plant in the border.
Do you know, when you said that picture didn't do it justice, I'm with you now. That yellow against the bronze is spectacular, isn't it?
It is incredible.
I love that.
The other video I sent you, Stu, I kind of honed in on the ladybirds as well, if you get a chance to do that one. But yeah, it's pretty.
Right, you've sold that to me.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's my top tip. It is the most, it's so stand out. And did you see those lovely little flowers on there as well? They're so incredible. You are supposed to prune those back. You know, if you trim those back after they sort of fade, it'll encourage more to come through. But I didn't touch mine at all last year, and it looks absolutely fantastic.
Now, mine are in sort of like semi-shade, and they seem to love it there.
That's exactly where mine are.
Yeah.
So they get, it's in the corner there, so the sun comes round, it gets a little bit of sun, but then it's in shade. So I say it probably gets about maybe 3 hours of good sunshine, and then it's in shade the rest of the time, and it is perfectly happy.
They are. I can see. I don't know why I meant to get them last year. Do you remember? I don't know why I didn't.
Absolutely love it. It's one of my favourites.
And you get all three for $14.97 today.
Yeah, and I love it. So I've got one. And I should have. I'm going to get some more. I think. You know, they grow to about 2 feet by 2 feet is what we're talking. Nice, slow growing, lovely kind of mound-like sort of shape to it. Very little maintenance.
Yeah.
No real major pruning that you need to do.
And evergreen as well, of course.
And evergreen as well.
They
always looks good.
The only thing I'd say is if there's a, you know, like if it's a really cold winter, the odd bit gets slightly tatty in the winter, but a tiny bit of pruning.
Tiny bit. So to be fair, that one that I showed you, just a little bit at the back, it does look a little bit tatty there, so I'm just going to prune that back a little bit. But on the whole, it looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Drought tolerant once it gets established as well. I mean, it's one of those plants that you go into and you go, that looks amazing. Yeah, I've done nothing to it. Yeah. I planted it and let it do its thing.
So you've sold it to me.
I love it.
I'm definitely going to put some of those in with my other, say, Euphorbias that I've got. Because I've got a dark green one and a light green that's kind of slightly bi-colour.
Yeah.
But
I like this one just because I just think it's a bit more dramatic than the other Euphorbias that I've seen.
Yeah, the bronze foliage is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So I hope you go for that today. 511386 for the Miner's Merlot. I wonder why it's called Miner's Merlot.
Yeah, I didn't look that up. I'll search it and see if I can find anything.
I sort of getting the Merlot bit,
but my Miner's. I'll do some research, see if I can find out.
Yeah.
The etymology.
Right. Well, I've lost you again.
You've lost him again.
And he's back, there he is. Stu, you're thinking, what's he talking about, this Stu? Stu does all the directing, producing, graphics.
Everything.
Everything, yes.
Everything that we don't do.
Yeah, sound.
Stu does.
Yeah. Right. We have got the Viburnum coming up next.
Yeah. And it's the standard Viburnum as well.
I got these a little while ago. And do you know what's been amazing? I got them 7 months ago. They have not stopped flowering all winter.
So we were bringing these back in November, weren't we? We were bringing these here on our YGTV shows back in November and December because these are all about kind of, well, so they're evergreen, first of all. They always have this amazing foliage, but this is about winter flowers, winter berries, winter fragrance. But we're in spring and it's still going.
I know.
So I mean, they normally start around about sort of November, December time. You start getting these flowers and you get the fragrance, you get these lovely little berries on here as well, and they flower all the way through the winter into the beginnings of April.
Now, that smells really good, doesn't it?
This smells amazing.
Really does. So one of the things that I've learned with my garden, I want to get as much colour as possible for as many days of the year as possible.
Yes.
I don't want days where I look out and it all looks empty, bare, drab. So anything that is long-lasting when it comes to flowering has got to be good. Who would not want that?
No, absolutely.
And as we said, these have been flowering several months already, and they're still coming. But we're just beginning to get the berries. Now, Lynn has sent an image in. She's one of our regulars.
Oh, look. That's beautiful. I mean, and it's the standard as well.
Yeah.
I love standard shape. Look at that. That looks so pretty up against the fence there as well. She's got the boxwood planters.
Yeah, they've gone now. We can't get those anymore.
We can't get those.
Now, how good does that look?
I think standards, no matter what plant it is, they just add a touch of class, a touch of elegance. You've got the opportunity to be able to underplant as well, so you can create that lovely tiered effect if you want to put them in a pot and plant some.
Too many peas there, Bex.
Put some bedding underneath. That gives you that gorgeous tiered thing going on. As the flowers fade on here over the summer months, you can put flowers at the bottom, but you'll always have the evergreen foliage.
No, I was honestly in the garden centre just having my toast, remember, and chips, and they had standard viburnums, and they were $59.99 each.
Yes.
Do you know what? I was going to say they were slightly bigger than these. I don't think they were.
No.
I really don't.
Well, I just want to point out these have been skillfully crafted into a standard shape. And I do want to point out to you, because you've got this 90-degree fork here, but then if I turn it, I don't know if I have to show it to you, the next one up there, can you see that's a 90-degree fork as well? And that is very clever. There's some skill going into that, and what that creates is a beautiful uniform shape that you're going to get here. Yeah, look, can you see it? It's so clever.
We have got a little bit of support on this one right now. But as this matures, that stem will get a lot thicker.
Yes, and it'll hold it.
Yeah, and it will not need the cane. But I think it's always wise, particularly if you're in a slightly exposed area, just to give it that little bit of support until it fully matures.
Needs actually attaching up here.
But I would definitely go for 2, and the club price on this is only $26.99. And if you can get 6 months of colour, and they have evergreen, of course, as well.
Of course,
and then you get the berries.
But it's the fragrance too, because the fragrance from Viburnum is
it's amazing.
I mean, it's a bit reminiscent of the Daphne smell as well, isn't it?
Yeah. No, Bex and I, we had a little wander out in the nursery this morning. There we are. We found them.
Look how happy I am.
Have I put in a bit of a face there? You look alright, Bex.
You are putting a face.
It was a bright sunshine. That's like, it's early and there's sunshine in my face. Bex looks like she's did a bit of a pose there, Bex.
I'm showing off my fancy new trainers, look.
Yeah.
But enough of ours.
Yeah, look at the plants. No, go back. Sorry, no. Look at the Viburnum. Don't look at us. Because there were hundreds and they all looked identical.
They do. They all look really amazing. They smell glorious. And as I say, with that standard shape, it does add that touch of class and elegance, doesn't it? That we are obviously
There you go. There they are. Stu cut us off there so you could concentrate on the Viburnum. I know that if you go for 2, you're still paying $59.98, but you will get free delivery because you're spending over £40. These will flower all winter long. They look fantastic in pots. In fact, those in the square Diablos look really good.
Oh my word, let's bring a Diablo up.
We have got a new viewer peak, so loads of you joining us right now. Really busy. Look at those. No, I want that. I've got these.
You've got that, haven't you?
Yeah, but I haven't got these.
Oh, you haven't got the pots?
No. Mine actually, I put mine in 30cm pots. Just
round ones?
Yeah. I've actually got them in the boxwoods.
Nice.
Which is nice, but I do think a bigger pot now would look better because it's going to underplant it.
Yeah, and also if you want to do that underplanting, I think there's lots of space in here to be able to do that.
Right, very important news. These have on what we call rundown, clearance. So it's one of those when they're gone, they're gone, and they are going. I'm sure when we first bought these, Bex, were they $24.99 each?
I think so.
Yeah, they were. I thought you were just at the confirmed. And I'll be honest, Bex and I both said, we love those, but a little bit out of our price range.
Yeah.
Bex had the kids to feed. I had my mum to feed. But seriously, they were $24.99 each. If you buy 2 today, you can get them for $27.99, working out £14 each.
£14
that
each.
Is amazing.
That is really good value.
But we are running down on the stock. They are not coming back. So if you want them, get them in your basket now.
Yeah, and with a double up deal, you do need to enter 2 into your basket. So put 2 into your basket. Here's the website. As you can see, the website says 2 for £19.99 each. But add them to your baskets. View the basket. Now, let's just remove that. So we've got 2 in our baskets. They're saying $19.99 each. We said £14, didn't we?
Yeah.
We need to do something in order to get that price. We need to enter that special offer code, YGTV1324. Apply the code. That's where the magic happens, you see. This is why we keep banging on about that offer code. You always need to enter it. The Diablo Square planters have now come down to £14 each, plus we've added in that free gift, that Sarah Bernhardt peony, the bare root that will be delivered as an absolute free gift worth £9.99. I'll put my teeth back in, shall I?
No, don't worry. It's so lovely to be back in the potting shed, though. So thank you to each and every one of you lovely gardening friends for watching myself, Shaun, and the wonderful Bex. With you live till 1 o'clock. Keep those emails and messages coming in.
Please do.
And do keep those orders coming as well. And I cannot emphasise enough, you have got to get those planters this week. We've got live shows tomorrow, 10 till 1, Sunday, 10 till 2, and a lot of your streamers later on, and we have not got many of those remaining. So whether there's enough till Sunday, we really are not sure.
We'll keep you updated throughout, and we'll let you know if they are looking like they are about to go. But yeah, we're getting down to lower numbers.
Yeah, they're amazing. Right. Still got loads to show you.
Yeah.
But let's remind you of what we've had so far on our live stream on YouGarden TV. So we started the show with a brand new offer. It's our Oleanders. Now, you are getting a buy one, get one free. Let me tell you about Oleanders. They're a Mediterranean plant. The great news is they grow really nicely in the UK. We even saw some earlier in West Yorkshire. So there you go. You do not have to live down south. They are hardy to -5. They are evergreen. You've got these gorgeous fragrant flowers. We work with what we believe to be the top breeders in the world in Sicily. They're specialists. It's a family business. They've actually got a waiting list for clients. And actually, oleanders are very difficult to get hold of in the UK. You know, a lot of other garden companies are not able to bring them here. We can. They are the most glorious plants. They are repeat flowering, they are fragrant, they are evergreen. Look at these. In the UK, I suggest you can put them in the ground, but I think it's probably better to grow them in pots because they may need, if it's a really cold winter and it gets lower than -5, they may need an extra bit of protection, and obviously a pot is a lot easier to protect and to move around. Do bear in mind, you cannot eat an oleander, and that applies to humans and all pets as well. So just do bear that in mind. Buy one, get one free, 680-027. Now, we've got lots of different plug plants on the show, but the most affordable are what we call pro plugs. So they need growing on, they're a little bit smaller, but they are raring to go. And these are the Sahara begonias. So it's a variety of begonia that's often used in commercial displays. So you'll see these on roundabouts in mass, you'll see them outside shopping centres and malls and things like that, because they are very low maintenance. They will thrive in sun, but they do pretty well in a little bit of shade. They are weather resistant, so whether it's raining, whether it's dry, they just really, really stand up to those adverse weather conditions. And they have the most gorgeous flowers, a mixture of reds, pinks, whites, and a variety of foliage. Some of the foliage will be like a bronzy colour, and some will be a delightful green. 490232 for the Begonia Sahara. Now, I really like these. These are in Impatiens. I know them as busy lizzies, but these are doubles, so they're like little rosebuds almost. Now, busy lizzies are busy, they grow quickly. They do very nicely in a little bit of shade. So if you've got an area of your garden that's shady, but you want colour, these will be absolutely superb. Repeat flowering, disease resistant, so these have been bred not to have there was an awful disease that finished busy lizzies off pretty much a few years ago. These have been bred to withstand that beautifully, and it is a double up deal. So if you put 2 in your basket, you can get 12 of the plugs for £14.98. I love those. Now, I think quite a few of us have got areas in our garden now that are looking a little bit worse for wear. I wanted to say it's been a tough winter. It's actually been quite warm, but it's been very wet. And actually, I'll be honest, some of your pansies may not have done that well in the wet weather. Now, obviously, things are drying up a bit now. It's getting warmer, we've got more daylight hours. So why not fill in those gaps with a pansy cool wave? So these are garden ready. They are, well, I'll point out the obvious, but they're ready to go now. And to put in your beds, your borders, your hanging baskets. They trail very gently, so they kind of cascade and meander, so ideal for pots and containers. They are prolific flowers, so these will flower and flower and flower and flower. And actually, although we sell them as an annual, in late summer, they may die down a little bit, but you can chop them back, put them in a slightly shady spot, and they will come back year after year after year. So do bear that in mind. They just don't like it when it gets really hot in summer. They will die back a bit, but you can just say chop them back, keep them in a slightly cooler place, and they'll bounce back next year and for many years to come. And you will probably get them self-seeding as well over a period of time. 410112. Now look at these are power daisies. and they are absolutely delightful. So these are classed as almost like a hardy annual because they will tolerate some frost. What I love about them, they just give you bright, vibrant colours with virtually no effort whatsoever. I grew these last year, and I grew them as an alternative to marigolds because marigolds are notorious for attracting slugs and getting eaten, well, literally eaten to death overnight. These did a lot better for me. They love sunshine. I love the simplicity of the flower on these, but look at that mass of colour. Great in beds and borders, great in containers, and very easy to grow. And they're big plugs, garden ready. 480393 is your item number. Right, Bex has persuaded me, I didn't need much persuading, but to go for the Euphorbia Merlot. This is Bex in her garden right now. Look at it. Planted last year, it's now in flower. The gorgeous yellow flowers contrasting beautifully with that bronze foliage. I love Euphorbias. They're easy, they're evergreen. They do really well in part shade as well. I think they look their best in kind of springtime with the flowers, but they do look good all year round. And what I really like about this is the colour. It's a very unusual coloured Euphorbia. That bronze foliage with the yellow flowers, absolutely amazing. 511386. Then we brought you a gorgeous Daphne. When I say gorgeous, the fragrance on this is spectacular. Now, one of our other garden experts is Adam Woolcott, and he's going to be joining us on Sunday. And I know he loves his Daphnes, but also Adam that emailed in has just sent us this Daphne as well. And that looks absolutely glorious there, doesn't it? What a beauty. Great photography there, Adam. But there it is close up. So beautiful pink flowers. The shade of pink may vary slightly on the Daphnes, but they are evergreen, they are fragrant, they are slow growing, so they're not going to be invasive or anything like that. But they produce the most magnificent fragrance. It is truly, truly spectacular. 510732. Then we brought you the Agapanthus, and this is fireworks. So it's a really compact Agapanthus. Will only grow to about 50-60 centimetres, so a lot shorter than the Africanus that we sometimes bring you. It's bicolour, so you can see you've got a darker blue contrasted with the light pale blue. But for me, it's all about the flowers and the shape of them and the structure of them. They're often used by garden designers. They're often now seen as a very expensive cut flower as well. They love their roots being hugged, so they like to be in a pot or they like to be in a contained area. They like to be part of a group and part of a crowd. Don't plant it by itself in the middle of a border because it will not flower very well. It will just produce leaves. So to get it to flower, it almost needs to be, I'm not going to say stressed, but it needs to be confined. 561027, double up deal on that, so you can get two for £16.99. This put a smile on my face. This takes me back to my childhood. I'm sure it brings back memories. You loved this one, Bex, didn't you? The Primula Veris Cowslip, double up deal, two for £14.98. So this one really does like to be in a shady spot. It does brilliantly under trees and in kind of woodland conditions. These gorgeous flowers on the stems just bring such joy at this time of year. And the great news is with the Primula, they will form clumps. So you can divide these over a period of time and get more and more and more. But a lovely traditional flower, great for your kind of country cottage garden, and you get two of those today for just £14.98. But yes, Bex and I are back in the potting shed today. It's so lovely to be with you. We don't get to work together quite as much because we both work on QVC as well. But the great news is you can actually watch all the shows.
Yeah, you can.
You can always stream the YouGarden shows later on. You can always catch up with QVC, but you can always find us basically.
Yeah, we love being here though, don't we?
Yeah.
We want to be together.
And if you're watching us on a computer right now, on a smartphone, don't forget you can watch us on your big TV, and we'll show you later how to do that. If you're not watching us on your TV now, if you've got an internet connected TV, like they call it a smart TV, you can watch us on YouTube, and we'll show you how to do that later.
Yeah, if you watch Netflix or Disney or any of the apps from your television, iPlayer or anything like that, you can watch us on the big telly, and Stuart's done a little video to show you how.
Yes. But I'm looking at this gorgeous rhododendron.
Yeah.
I mean, oh.
I do love a rhododendron.
You do, don't you? Yeah, I do.
They are so pretty. Glossy, evergreen foliage, and then these lovely, silky flowers on there. They're beautiful. Look at those fat buds.
I know. There's loads of big fat buds on there.
Love a fat bud.
And that should be out in the next sort of like 4 to 6 weeks, I would have thought this.
Yeah, not long.
Some a bit further on in the nursery. Now, last week, we were very lucky to have a very special guest from Wigan, Dave the Plantman. And Dave, if you don't know him, he's got a big social media following. But that aside, he's been gardening all his life, 45 years. Yeah. And he loves to spread and share his knowledge. He's just a down-to-earth guy, loves gardening. And here he is to tell us all about the rhododendron. Well, I'm really sorry I can't be here on Sunday's show. I'm at QVC at 5 in the afternoon, so I hope you can join me then. But I am here with Dave the Plantman. Hello, Dave.
Hello.
Now, this is a stunning rhododendron. It's been around decades, this one, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is one of the old winners from the past. When I first started in the nursery industry, we always used to import Rhododendron Nova Zembla. So really, it's been going a long time. Now, what this is a hybrid rhododendron. So it's the one with the really big flowers, and it can get quite tall. It can grow 2 meters easily, this one, because it's a hybrid. And then you've got these really big flowers. It's a ericaceous plant, which means... I've only just learned to spell that, by the way. Well, I can't spell it. It's an ericaceous plant, so it likes to be planted in an acid soil. They're shallow rooting. They will live in... Because they've got big, thick, leathery green leaves, they can stand quite a bit of shade as well. So... Do they need to avoid... I'm always unsure about this, but do they need to avoid the hot afternoon sun, Dave, or... Not really. No? They live in sunshine, and they live in shade. They're a tough plant, very tough plant. It's like everything, they just don't like drying out. You can put this into a pot, but it will get too big in about, I'd say, depends on the size of the pot, but it will get too big for a pot eventually. It's a big grower. This is a back of the border rhododendron, or you keep it in a pot for so many years. And the flowers, they're so bright on this one, aren't they? Oh, massive big red flowers on it, pinky red flowers. And there's loads, you can see, there's loads of buds coming. Oh yeah, and these pointy things here, these are the big fat flower buds that are going to burst and send up all the colour. And I'm just counting here, there must be at least 30 on there. Yeah. Some of these smaller ones might be leaf buds. Now, interesting fact about these here we go. Is that as soon as it's finished flowering, crack the flower off and make sure there's no seed heads left on, because that way it will produce more shoots and more leaves and better flowers next year. More flowers, yeah. Instead of wasting its energy growing seed. So you should always crack off and deadhead rhododendrons after they've flowered. Interesting fact. Interesting facts. I love his
little catchphrase. It's great.
As well. And do you know what? Fact. Working with Dave, I mean, we did pick up so many interesting facts. Yeah. It's lovely to have little gems of...
I was watching, and it's one I'm going to go back and watch, because I didn't get to watch it all. I was in London, I was on QVC that day, but I watched a good sort of 30, 40 minutes of it, and I just thought it was... I love talking to people that have a passion about gardening, and he really does, doesn't he? And sharing our knowledge, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Right, we have got a big audience today. Here we have.
Do check out your baskets. Remember, free postage when you spend over £40. Lots of you online, lots of you ordering on the phone lines, and a free gift. You get the Sarah Bernhardt peony ready to plant right now, worth $9.99. That is free with every single order.
It's something that we've carried on since we started doing these shows on YGTV. You get an amazing offer every single week, a free gift or a particularly special offer, and we have kept that going for as long as we can, basically.
And that is, we did sell those for $9.99. We will do in the future, but it is free, and that is the most glorious peony. You look at that, and you think, oh my word, that was free.
Yeah. Absolutely free.
And you should get, you will get, well, you should get 1 or 2 flowers this year, but it's a
I'd
berry
like to think, but the thing is, your peony is going to last you for decades. Peonies are really long-lasting perennials. You know, 20, 30 years, it would not be unusual to get that length of time out of that Sarah Bernhardt peony. And once it gets established, 15, 20 flowers per time it flowers. It'll be absolutely incredible.
That is so nice.
It is.
Yeah, and it's free with every single order.
Free.
Even if you buy the little pots for $3.99, you get one of those free.
Yeah.
Right.
As long as you enter the code YGTV1324. That's the code for this week. That unlocks all of your special deals. Free postage over £40. Free gift entered into your basket. Double up deal, savings. Everything is unlocked by entering that code. Something we've both got in our gardens. Now I've got the bush, you've got the standard.
Yes.
It is the Co-jo-no-mai.
And do you know what? When I was feeling a bit down a few weeks ago, and we all get those days, don't we? It was a bit miserable and what have you. And then I looked outside, and my Co-jo-no-mai was just coming to flower, and instantly I felt happy. It's sort of, it's one of those plants that when it flowers in spring, it is rather magical. Yeah. And actually, this is just beginning to produce the leaves now, but a couple of weeks ago it would have been all blossom. It is a great time to buy this now, though, and to get it established, isn't it?
It really is, and I just think it's what we're doing is bringing an amazing price, even when, I mean, arguably this is at its best, or you know, just before the foliage comes through, it's at its best when it's just covered in all that blossom. But we had this amazing price even when it was looking at its best. Normally, when something is in full bloom, full flower, you know, that's when you'll pay the highest price for it. But we have knocked £10 off here, £14.99 to get a Co-jo-no-mai in a 3-litre pot. This is at least 3 years old. This is a really well-established Co-jo-no-mai. This is not a baby because these are slow-growing beauties.
Because I remember, Bex, you bought the ones
teeny tiny,
and they still haven't grown that much, have they?
It's nowhere near this size, and that's a good thing, by the way. I bought it because it's slow-growing. I want to go on that journey with it. It might be that you've got a smaller garden, a smaller space, and you don't want something that's a rapid grower. This is perfect for that because it's got that bonsai nature to it. I'm a big fan of bonsai. I love it. But it grows really nice and slow for you. It can get much bigger, but it'll take so many years to get there. In a border, this will look absolutely beautiful. And every year, when that blossom comes, you will be delighted. Yeah. But the wonderful thing about Co-jo-no-mai is that this looks great, even when it's naked. It looks fantastic during the summer months as well. You know, you get that lovely cherry blossom on here. The leaves start to come. You have this lovely foliage going on all the way through the summer. You get a blaze of colour that happens to the foliage. You get these lovely oranges and reds just before the leaves drop. But even when it's naked, this looks incredible.
And I put little twinkle lights of mine at Christmas time just over the bare branches, and it looked gorgeous.
It's got this lovely zigzag shape to it. You can't see it now because obviously the foliage and the flowers are there, but the branches have these beautiful zigzag shape to it that's so unlike anything else. And
it really is a great time to buy it now and to plant it. Great in beds and borders, great in pots. It likes a sunny position and well-drained soil. And it's got the AGM award, hasn't it?
Yeah, Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. Proven performer. They rigorously trial, they rigorously test. They don't just hand those awards out willy-nilly. It really has to meet a certain set of criteria in order for it to be given that award. Willy-nilly, I love saying that.
I do, no, it's willy-nilly, but I used to use that one.
Yeah. That's a good phrase.
But that is a great price. We went to see these on the nursery. So they are still in blossom.
Yes.
They're beginning to form the leaves now. So when yours arrives, it will probably still have some blossom on, but buy it now, get it established, get it in a pot, get it in the ground. It will look lovely in the summer, covered in those gorgeous leaves. As Beck said, you get a blaze of orange and red in the autumn, and then when it drops its leaves, it still looks really nice because of that bonsai nature to the plant itself. 510014 for the Japanese blossom cherry Co-jo-no-mai there in the 3-litre pot. Really well established, great price with an extra £10 off that one.
That one will delight every year for many years to come. I promise you that one is you should all have a Co-jo-no-mai.
Yeah, totally. In fact, you might want to go for a couple of those. Right, we have got a really exciting table over here.
Yeah, quite enjoying this one.
Beck set this up as I was just going through the reminders of what we'd had, and I looked across and was like, I love everything on this table.
Everything on this table, right?
Yeah, everything. But we're going to start over here. Look at these colours.
Now, this is the Pieris collection.
Oh.
This is all about the foliage, okay?
Yeah.
These are incredible. So you're getting 3 different varieties, and what you get from this is the new foliage, the baby foliage. You get this spectacular, kind of gorgeous red colours. I mean, you can see on this baby one, we've got these lovely pink ones coming through, darker pink. You get this gorgeous red foliage coming through on here. But they're just spectacular evergreen shrubs. Possibly the perfect garden plant because they're easy to grow, they're fully hardy, you get months of interest here. The young foliage are these dazzling shades of red and pink, and they just mature to this kind of more glossy green colour. You also get, so you get these sort of branching clusters of flowers.
Yeah,
on
little
here.
kind of white flowers.
Yeah, they look a bit like lily of the valley flowers.
Yeah. I've got one of these and it looks a bit lost, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, I've got mine in my ericaceous border.
Absolutely, and that's the perfect place. They need ericaceous compost. So if you want to grow them in pots, these would be perfect in pots. If you've got an ericaceous border like Shaun, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you do want to put them into a border where you don't have acid soil, then you can do. You just need to dig a bigger hole, put loads of ericaceous compost in there, and the top tip would be not to water them with tap water. Just use rainwater in order to water them, because obviously tap water will change the pH balance of the soil.
I think the value is incredible as well. I mean, you are going to get all 3 for just £12.97, working out just over £4 each, about £4.33 each. So many reasons to go for these: the gorgeous flowers, the evergreen foliage, but the new growth in here, those reds and those pinks.
Oh, stunning.
They
honestly.
really look at them.
And the variegation that you get on one of the varieties as well. They really are going to give sort of months and months of interest. And these are also RHS AGM as well. Was it all 3 of them or 2 of them? I can't remember, but there's definitely RHS Award of Garden Merit on these as well. So these are incredibly easy to grow. As we say, all you need to do is make sure that you've got some ericaceous compost in there. Very easy to look after. The flowers will last for several weeks. You're going to trim those off once they've gone over, and all it needs is sort of a light prune, probably not even on a yearly basis, probably on every 2 or 3 years, just a light prune to maintain the shape on them. Other than that, you're pretty much good to go with these, and just all year round, gorgeous foliage interest there. Reminds me a bit of like photinias, you know, when you get that lovely red growth from the photinia. I think these are similar to that, but actually I think these are even more beautiful because there's lots of other things going on with these.
But I'd say the only thing with photinias, they can grow absolutely huge, and these don't either.
No, well they can get to sort of maybe 2 metres, but they're going to take a long time. Photinias are quite vigorous growth. Yeah, these are going to take a lot longer. We're talking probably 10 years.
My in-laws have got a whole Photinia hedge, and it must be 12 foot high.
Yeah,
and it's done that quite quickly.
Yeah.
I love those, and they are only £12.97. But we're going to now move on to our Lupin gallery collection. And do you know what? I remember as a child just loving lupins.
Yeah.
I adored them as a child. We had them in our very first garden. And I know I wasn't here at the weekend, but I was watching some of the show, and these were incredibly busy, weren't they?
Love the lupins. Everybody loves a lupin, don't they?
I think so.
I do.
I think they've had a bit of a... I mean, they've never really gone out of fashion, but they've certainly become extremely popular over the past few years. And I think that's a lot to do with the breeding and the brand new vibrant colours.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more choice now with lupins.
Loads of choice. And sometimes lupins can get a bit straggly. But not this. This is the gallery collection. So these have been bred to be more compact, more robust, not tall and leggy like other varieties of lupins can get. These are probably only going to get to about 50, 60 centimetres, so, you know, maybe 2 feet in height. Whereas more traditional varieties of lupins, we are talking probably a metre, and they can get a bit straggly, can't they? So these are much more compact, still going to give you those lovely sort of tall spires of flowers opening in succession, 3 gorgeous colours included there, that lovely kind of, I'm not going to say bright red, it's more of a maroony red, isn't it? And that purple, and then the creamy white there as well. It's a bees and butterfly magnet. They absolutely adore these plants. They can cope in any soil type as well, so this isn't one that we need to worry about whether it's ericaceous or, you know, all the rest of it. They'll be absolutely happy. Just get them planted out. And actually, I just looked down and saw the foliage. Love the foliage.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So yeah, we're growing it for those lovely lovely flowers, but actually those flowers rise up from some of the most interesting star-shaped foliage. It's almost palmate leaves, isn't it? They're so pretty.
I adore lupins, and I mean, these will flower this year, but I know with my lupins, year 2, year 3, you just get so many more. And a little tip, if you want them to repeat flower, if you chop the lupin off just before the very top has come out.
Like that?
Yes.
Yeah, about that.
I'd
leave it a little bit longer.
A little bit longer, actually. But if
just the top.
Then you get a lot more repeat flowering in general. But I always chop the dead flowers off in a minute, and you often get a lot more flowers and certainly a second burst as you head towards autumn. These are really well rooted, by the way.
They are. Look at those.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know because I dropped them.
You did. If you heard a bit of a thud earlier.
There's a big pile. Look,
do you know what I've also found with lupins? If
I dropped it.
Yeah, I heard it. And at the end of the flowering season, if you do leave some of the dead flowers on to form seeds, they do actually self-seed quite well.
Yeah,
lupins.
they do. They're brilliant. They're just going to keep coming back. They're sort of good, that lovely cottage garden feel, foliage interest as well as the beautiful flowers.
Do you think the colours though? Those three, they work so well, don't they?
Do.
I mean, when those three together to me are magical. And can we just see the sort of blue one close up, because that's a bicolour.
Yeah, it's lovely the colours you get on there, because you get the sort of creamy colours as well.
It's like purple and cream.
Yeah.
And then this one up here, that's quite an unusual colour, isn't it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I can't quite describe it. I've said a maroony red, but it's sort of got a pink tinge to it as well, isn't it?
There's a bicolour.
Look at that.
Yeah,
that's
really
so
nice.
Interesting. It's about there, isn't it? That flower. That's where you're going to chop it off, because then you'll probably get that second flower.
But only if you want to. Yeah. You might not want to. You might think, oh no, I'll ruin it. But you get all three. Amazing price. I've got quite a few lupins, but I want those because I haven't got this colour at the top, and I haven't got the bicolour one. I've got the creamy sort of like colour, but they are absolutely spectacular. And I like the fact you were saying, Bex, that they're a bit more compact, not as big.
Yeah, because the lupins can just get a bit leggy.
Yeah,
they can. A bit straggly, whereas these are going to stay much more compact, and they've been bred to be compact and robust.
So again, great for the smaller, more modern garden. I think that's amazing, and that was a top seller, one of the top sellers on Sunday.
Was indeed, absolutely.
Stock is going quickly on that one, so if you want it, $13.47 is your club price.
Clean up my mess.
Don't worry, we're gardeners, we're allowed to be messy.
That's all right, we're in the pot and shed, we're allowed to make a mess.
I've really tidied up my greenhouse.
Have you?
Yeah.
You neatened it all up?
It was such a state. And one of my members of the garden club came around the other day, and I was embarrassed. You came in the greenhouse, I was so embarrassed. I've tidied it all up, yes. Right, Allium Purple Sensation is next.
Yeah.
You love your Alliums, don't you? I do too.
Love them. I mean, it was only last year, the first time I grew them, actually.
Was it?
It was. It was only last year, but then I'm totally obsessed now. I think they're gorgeous.
I remember Peter McDermott, he's our head gardener here at YouGarden. He told me about Allium several years ago, and he said, Shaun, once you grow them, he said the same thing, you'll be obsessed with them and you want them every year.
It's true.
And he was so right.
Well, I've gone from growing, so Purple Sensation were the ones that I grew last year. From last year planting these, I've now planted every variety of Allium that we do. So stand by for all the videos coming up on those.
So you've planted the Molly, the Neapolitanum.
The drumsticks, they're all in my garden.
But I think when we think of the classic Allium,
this is it.
This is it. This is one the garden designers use, isn't it? Off the Chelsea and things.
Totally, because you get the most perfect ball of flowers at the top of. That's mine.
I mean, come on, they are just
look
amazing.
At that.
Aren't they?
And I did that video. Look, because you can see the little bee having a wonderful time on there. They're like sparklers. You get loads of flowers, and it forms this really sort of dense ball of flowers. And the bees, honestly, they have the most wonderful time because they just go from one flower to the next, to the next, to the next. They'll spend 10 minutes just going around one of those allium flowers. They're absolutely incredible. They rise up and they can reach, honestly, a good metre in height. Some were a little bit shorter, some definitely reached that metre in height for me. But they reach them on these really tall, sturdy stems as well.
They don't need any staking.
They just move in the breeze.
So do you leave yours on to last year?
I didn't last year, but I'm going to this year. So I've got the Allium, I've got loads of them going, and what I want to do, I planted them into borders last year, but the kids destroyed them with the football.
Those kids.
pesky children.
Who'd have them?
They got knocked so much.
It happens.
So
I'm only joking.
Absolutely.
You've got to let the children play.
The kids have got to enjoy the garden. So this year what I've done is I've planted them all into pots. There might be some that come up in the borders because some of the bulbs will be left, so they'll probably come up. But I've planted a load into pots so that I can keep them to one side, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the heads on. I'm going to take some off to dry them because you can create these really amazing dried flower displays.
I mean, some people leave the seed heads on all winter, and they still look really nice when they're dry. But they are dramatic. They are beautiful. They're often used in garden designs.
Yeah.
And we've got them here right now, and you get 2 of those in the 9 centimetre pots, and they're very easy to grow. They come back year after year after year.
Totally. Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, proven performer, really important accolade, and they truly are. Once you plant these, you do nothing to them really. Now, I will say the foliage at the bottom, you get this lovely sort of strappy green foliage that looks great for a little while, but then it tends to look a little bit straggly and messy. So a good idea here is to underplant.
Yeah, totally.
Because you can disguise that foliage if you have some lower growing items growing around it. Sometimes I just trim a bit of the messier foliage off, but I don't want to lose too much of it.
I'm totally with you. So, some bulbs, their foliage is rather magnificent, but no, the allium, it's all about the flower.
It is all about the flower, absolutely.
If you haven't got them, go for them today. What I'd be tempted to do was, I know you get 2, but I'd maybe buy a few more.
Yeah.
I'd maybe buy 4.
You'll regret it if you don't.
Yeah. Mine are just coming up now, and mine are all in pots.
I've got all the foliage coming up. I can see all the foliage.
I can see the flowers.
Oh my word! Yeah, I can see a couple where the buds are starting to appear.
But we'd love you to try this if you've never
really
grown
would.
them before. 561072. Right. Our sedums are next. I've got quite a few of these in my garden. I've actually got them in the area where I've got ferns and loropetalum and things like that.
Oh yeah, that worked nicely.
But what I love about these is the colour, because you can see they're variegated.
Variegated.
They're really nice. Look at those.
They just seem to keep changing colour.
Yeah.
As well. Now, this was a Chelsea Plant of the Year back in 2019. Now, I know we talk about RHS AGM, the Award of Garden Merit, but to win Plant of the Year, that's accolade.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one, isn't there?
There's one that wins each year. The competition for that is incredible, and this won that in 2019. It's really versatile. It's really multifunctional. So it looks fantastic if you planted it in a pot on its own. It's evergreen. It always looks amazing. You get these lovely sort of yellowy coloured flowers, frothy yellow flowers that appear on it. But this is all about that foliage. It creeps. It gently covers the ground. It's excellent ground cover. If you've got a rockery, perfect. I've got mine planted towards the front of my borders. They just sort of gently creep out and soften the edge of the border. But in a pot on its own, it also looks fantastic as well.
I'll tell you what, that makes my sedums look a little bit drab.
Does it?
Yeah, a little. I mean, I love them, and when they flower, they're amazing, actually. But that foliage is so much nicer.
It's just really, really interesting, and I like that you get so many different colours on the one plant.
I think it's spectacular.
Excuse me, really low maintenance. You pretty much leave these to do their thing.
Yeah.
You don't do anything to them. I think you can probably divide them once they get established. I haven't done it with mine because I only planted them last year, but I think once they get established, you can probably divide them.
I actually propagated some of mine last year because when the flowers had finished, they got little babies on the stems of the flowers, and honestly, they were. I took them off, put a bit of rooting powder on them, and they propagated so easily.
Excellent.
They really were so easy to propagate. So if you do get little babies on the flower stems, just take them off, bit of rooting powder.
Keep an eye for that this year then.
Yeah.
I might try that.
There were just a cluster of little babies on some of the stems, and I just literally took them off. They almost fell off the stems, and I've just put a bit of and they it's amazing.
I'll give that a go. I'll look out for some this year. They're really easy to grow, honestly. This is a beginner gardener's plant, or, you know, for an expert gardener, it's a great one as well.
But I love the colours on those.
Amazing.
Yeah, I might have to add those to my collection. 560,609 for the Sedum Atlantis Stonecrop. Plant of the year, in which year was it, Bex?
2019.
2019.
What's that, 5 years ago?
Right, hang on. So...
He's thinking.
I am thinking.
The hamster wheel is turning.
Yeah. Right, there's a plant that missed out that year, and I'm trying to think which one it was, and I didn't know it missed out to this one.
Oh.
Right, it'll come back to me. Right, we'll move on.
We'll revisit that.
Yeah, there was a lovely plant that missed out. I know what it is.
Oh.
Osteospermum, purple sun.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that missed out on plant of the year.
Because of that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I knew I'd get
I love
there.
that osteospermum.
So it's one that we both grew last year. It's on our website, the osteospermum, and it was shortlisted and missed out. And I kept thinking, why didn't it win plant of the year?
Yeah,
and it's
that's
because of that.
Apparently, if you go to our YouTube channel... Oh, it's the picture at the top of the screen. It is, isn't it? The osteospermum.
Is.
It is, you're right. It's so pretty.
Sorry, I was just thinking, there it is.
That's it.
So now look how amazing that is. And the reason that did not get plant of the year in 2019 at Chelsea was because of this. So that shows how good that one is.
It does indeed, absolutely.
So my brain was like ticking there. I was like, right, let's talk about azaleas next.
Yes, let's talk about azaleas. We've brought a couple out for you just to show you the uniformity that we're talking about here. This is £8.99 if you're in the club for one of these. If you want to go for a couple or three, then why not? They all look absolutely fantastic.
Pretty? Yeah.
They are bursting into look at the flower on there. This is why we love azalea. This is why we love rhododendron, because you get glossy foliage, you get silky flowers, and these just not keep flowering. This is called the Encore range.
Yes.
And that's because it flowers for you in springtime. Now, April, May time, it'll give you flowers and it will get absolutely covered as this matures and establishes, and gets bigger. We're talking 2-3 feet height and spread. It will get covered in these flowers. But because this has had amazing breeding, this will give you an encore.
That's
you
so
will get
good.
flowers again. So later on in the summer, August, September time, you'll get a second flush of flowers on here. So azaleas are not just for spring flowers. If you get the Encore range, you'll get summer flowers as well.
That really appeals to me.
It really does, doesn't it?
You know when you go to concert, more! And there's an encore, yes. That's what those are all about. Right, just few quick reminders.
Yeah.
Postage, you only pay postage once per order. So you won't pay it on every individual item, you pay it once. However, Bex, we know that lots of our viewers are doing this.
Absolutely. Get your order to over £40 because then as long as you enter the code YGTV1324, we will take away any of the postage cost included.
Yeah.
So if you've got 4 items in your basket, all of which have got postage on, we'll lose it entirely for you if you get your order over 40.
Just buy some compost and that would probably get your order to over £40 if you're buying a few plants. There is a wonderful free gift today. I don't know if we're going to be doing this next week, but if you buy anything today, you will get this gorgeous giant peony called Sarah Bernhardt. It's a stunner. You do need exactly. You do need to use the offer code YGTV1324.
It's right there for you.
Right there. Got there in the end, didn't we? What else? What have I forgotten next?
Join the club. It's really important, actually, because it costs you just £5 to join the club. But what that gives you is 10% off pretty much everything that you will order for the next 12 months. So your savings will rack up very, very quickly. There's a little box when you place an order. It says, do you want to save an extra certain amount of money? Click yes to that. Because, as I say, it costs you just £5 to join, and that lasts for 12 months. 10% discount, even on the compost.
But thank you. We've got lots of viewers watching today. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, any comments, you can join the group chat on Facebook, YouTube, or you can email Stu in the gallery, ygtv@yougarden.com. And we had some great pictures coming in as well.
Oh, yay. Good.
Yes.
Let's talk about compost, shall we?
Right. Let's talk about compost.
Let's talk about compost. Let's talk about the importance of having the right compost.
Yeah. Do you know, it amazes me. I still have got a few friends, members of my family.
Was that a full stop?
Yeah. I've still got a few friends.
Got
a few friends left. No, I've got a few friends that still scrimp on their compost.
Yeah.
And then they come to my garden or the pub that I look after that's got great hanging baskets. Like, oh, why don't my baskets look like yours?
Yeah.
Because of this.
Absolutely. Honestly, so I've been doing a lot of research recently into the composition of compost and why it's so important. And I used to be one of those people. I put my hands up. It's just compost. It doesn't matter.
I'd go and buy whichever one was on offer.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it was whichever one was nearest, because I couldn't be bothered to walk over there and put it on a trolley.
I like that.
Yeah.
But actually, once you look into it, and it totally makes sense. Of course it does. If you think about what we feed ourselves, what we feed our own bodies, and the importance of, you know, eating the rainbow, eating our 5 a day,
true.
how much that will do to not only our physical health, but our mental health. You know, we know all of this stuff, of course, it's important.
If you live on just fast food, you don't look great, you don't feel great.
It's exactly the same when it comes to your plants. Your plants need excellent nutrition. They need all of those good things. They need their 5 a day. They also need, to develop really strong root structures, they not only need all of the amazing nutrients, but they also need oxygen. They need air to be able to get to the roots. And so the texture of this, I don't know if so we often do this and we'll ball it up, we'll get it into a really tight ball, look, and then watch as I just break that apart. Can you see the beautiful texture that we've got here? It is so light and airy, and this is what makes our plants get those lovely strong root structures. Also, if you're planting seeds, you know, sometimes you just need the finest covering over the top of your seeds. They don't want to go too deep. This has that beautiful light fine texture so seeds can grow. But likewise, if you're planting, you know, a great big fruit tree or a Co-jo-no-mai or the Oleander, any of the things we're bringing you today, this is the perfect compost for it. What we say is you only need 2 composts. This one or our ericaceous compost. Honestly, the whole world of compost out there is very complicated, and it doesn't need to be.
And when you think we broadcast here from our 11-acre nursery, we plant up hundreds of thousands of plants over the years, and it could be our ready-made hanging baskets, it could be bare root roses. We plant up about 150,000 of those a year, but they're all planted in this premium professional compost. So we have to be using the best. If there was a better compost to grow our plants in that we sell to you, we'd be using it.
Absolutely,
but it is this one. We'll quickly break it down.
3 different types of peat. 3 different types of peat. We've got renewable peat in here, which is the sphagnum moss peat, but we do have a light and dark peat included as well. We have reduced that content because we do know there are environmental issues, and we are an environmentally friendly company. We've got electric vehicles, all our packaging is recyclable. So we've really reduced that down. We use the minimum amount for the maximum results.
You've also got about 50% composted wood fibre, and that gives it this incredible texture that we were talking about. And when you've got a texture like this that's so fibrous and so even, those roots genuinely can find the nutrients, find the water. So you've got 50% incredible composted wood fibre, and you can really see that there, can you? And you know, we're sort of like putting our hands in here, we're taking big handfuls, but there's not big chunks of stick, there's not big lumps and clumps. It is beautifully composted down. That texture is so even. That you've got to, if you're a little delicate plant and your roots suddenly go straight into a big chunk of wood, that can't be good, can it?
Yeah, particularly if you're thinking about, you know, seedlings. You're starting off seedlings, or the little pro plugs that we're bringing you. You know, they're going to struggle with those great big lumps and chunks that you'll find. Not in here. And
those delicate roots, they need to be able to access that water, that oxygen, so easily, and that fibrous texture allows them to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I just saw some green balls.
Yeah, there's green balls in here, not just to make it look pretty, if there's one.
There's one.
So there's loads of them, and they're even, you know, loads of them distributed throughout this compost. That is a slow-release fertiliser. That is to feed your plants. It stays active for a good 5 to 6 months. Really important that they can get hold of the feed as and when they need it. Of course, we will still feed. We will still use our blooming fast, but this is really important.
Now, there's also something that I love, and it's called a wetting agent. And I think we've all been there. We've made some lovely hanging baskets or pots. It's a really hot summer's day. They've dried out, and when you try to re-water, all the water goes over the side of the hanging basket, and it's really frustrating. This has got a wetting agent, so the water sticks to the compost, so it rehydrates very quickly. And that is, if we get a long hot summer, which Bex and I have predicted, remember?
Yes, we have.
You are going to really appreciate that wetting agent.
Yeah, and one final thing is the sort of pH buffer in here. So what we've got is, so most plants want to be on the slightly acid side of neutral. About 6 point something, isn't it?
Yes.
What is it, 6 point?
About 6.4,
6.4, I think it is, something like that. Anyway, slightly acid side of neutral, and that is exactly where this compost is, which means that for the majority, for 98% of the things that you plant out in your garden, in your home, because this is great for houseplants as well, it will work perfectly in here. Obviously, azaleas, rhododendrons, blueberries, those sorts of things want the ericaceous compost, but most of the things you plant, this has been designed to be able to use.
And all delivered free of charge as well, and you get your free gift worth £9.99. And club members, your price is only £22.48 today. Do bear that in mind. There's still no postage to pay, but you'll get this home for £22.48 plus your free gift, the Sarah Bernhardt peony as well. And we have had it confirmed. We will not be giving the Sarah Bernhardt peony away next week as a free gift.
No.
So this is the last week to get that free gift, just to let you know.
Lovely.
Right.
Oh, let's go and do some more summer bedding.
Yeah. Do you know what? We've been really busy for our summer bedding. And I'm really pleased because it is that time of year that we really start thinking about our hanging baskets, our containers. We've got a variety of plants, a variety of plugs, different sizes. We're going to start off with what we call the Pro plugs. And these are the smallest plugs we do, and actually the most affordable, so they are the best value. And these are a pack of 40. And all you need to do with these, you can either squeeze to get them out. I tend to put a little stick underneath, only because I've got quite big, clumsy hands. So I could squeeze, and I could probably get one of those out. There you go, I can get one out. But sometimes I tend to just put a little twig at the bottom just to push it out. But all the hard work's been done now. Look, you could grow these from seed yourself, but it's a lot of work. Sometimes a lot of seeds don't germinate. Then you've got all the pricking out and planting them up. All of that hard work has been done. So you've got 40 really, really good plants that are raring to go. And all we need to do is pot those up either in a 9 centimetre pot, or I tend to use, if you ever bought bedding in packs of 4 or 6, I always save those plastic trays, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But
keep them frost-free. They will grow at a rapid rate. And what we love about this variety, it's very, very resistant.
Totally, yeah. Really, really resistant. They're so easy, really rewarding, very low maintenance. They're a customer favourite year after year. You get clusters of these beautiful flowers in a variety of shades. They contrast absolutely perfectly against the kind of bronzy and the green foliage included there. They're long flowering. They flower all summer long, and they're resistant to the summer weathers. So if it's hot and dry, wet and cold, they don't mind. They can really handle it. They're just really easy, really, really easy, and a very long flowering season.
And I was saying earlier, they are often used commercially.
Yeah.
So when the councils make roundabouts look pretty and things like that, the reason why they use these,
they don't have to do anything to them once they've planted them out.
And if it's a bit dry, they're fine. If it's a bit wet, they're fine.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but you would not want to plant up a commercial area where you've got to tender it every 5 minutes.
Absolutely. And do you know what? They can cope with full sun, or they can cope with a bit of shade.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter the place you plant these. They're happy.
I plant those in areas where I don't want to have to look after them, if you know what I mean. I've used those in our pub garden. Sounds awful, but I love the pub garden to look great. But
you're not there every day.
There was one year when I planted cosmos, and I love cosmos, but if you don't dead cosmos every day, you've got lots of dead flowers. And honestly, it was driving me insane. Some days I was having to go there morning and evening to dead head. Not without. Right, these are pretty, aren't they?
Yes, our busy Lizzies. Busy, busy plants, these. Loads of flowers you get on a busy Lizzie. And again, this is an all summer long kind of flowering, very easy to look after. Lots and lots of colour. Loads of these lovely kind of little rose-like flowers that you get on here.
These are like doubles, aren't they?
They are indeed. And do you know what? They thrive in a bit of shade as well as in sun as well. So I think part shade is probably their best location. Baskets, pots, fillers in borders, really doesn't matter. Very, very versatile. Plant them everywhere. They're top performers, they're reliable, and you get consistent growth. Robust, durable, easy.
I was just thinking, a lot of the big supermarkets, they sell bedding in summer, but it's always the really, I don't want to say boring, but do you know what I mean? It's the basic things, isn't it? Nothing wrong with that. But they're really special because of the variety and the breeding and those doubles.
Yeah, the doubles are
if you love really pretty, unusual summer bedding, that's the one to go for. And you're right, Bex, they don't mind a bit of shade. I've put these in fairly shady places. That's how they arrive?
That's the little greenhouse that they come in. Now, if you do have different colours, which these do, you see on the label there, they are labelled. There is a letter next to them. There's a letter of the alphabet next to them.
That corresponds there.
Exactly that. So, if you are wanting to colour code and plant certain colours in certain places, then you know which colour you've got in which compartment. So just pay attention to that before you get excited and open them up and, oh, look at these, and take them all out of the packaging. So yeah, we spent a lot of time and effort with our packaging to make sure they get to you in the best condition.
I had some hardy...
You did it, didn't you? It was fuchsias, wasn't it?
No, I did it. Yeah, I did it yesterday. I had some hardy... Not yesterday, sorry, the day before. I had 12 hardy perennials.
Excuse me.
Tipped them all out, and then I suddenly thought that most of them I looked new, but there's a couple I was like, hang on.
I don't know which one's which.
And then, because when they plant small, sometimes it's not as easy.
You can't always tell, can you?
And then I got my plant app out, and it gave me. I thought it's not that. It was like something random. Do you know what I mean? It was like it's stupid.
It's definitely not that.
But I did figure out in the end. But anyway, don't take them out till you know what they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But honestly, I laughed at myself. I thought, oh, you stupid thing. You know? Right, lovely. Do double up on those. So 2 lots for $14.98. They're really, really pretty.
Really pretty.
They're quite an unusual variety to get.
Easy, just long-lasting. Make sure you put 2 packs of 6 in to get your double up deal. Don't put the pack of 12 in. Put the 2 packs of 6 in.
Now, I was watching a little bit of your Sunday show with Adam.
Yes.
And these popped up.
Yeah, the Calibrachoas.
Oh, and
They're your mum's favourite, aren't they, Calibrachoa?
Yeah, yeah. I love them too. But my word, that collection.
I know. Look at those.
The bicolour ones are amazing, Bex, aren't they? I was only watching on my phone. I was like, oh my word, got to have those.
They're so pretty, aren't they? They're like, so the Calibrachoa are like mini petunias, but these are the doubles. So you get loads of petals included in these. They're bright, they're vibrant. You get loads of flowers on here. And again, all summer, June, July, August, September, October, these are going to flower for you. They're quite fast growing. Excuse me, they're quite fast growing, so you know these are wonderful when it comes to summer bedding. We don't want to wait around too long, do we? And the butterflies absolutely adore them.
Do you know what? I've never seen some of those varieties before. I haven't seen the bicoloured ones. They are absolutely amazing. Now we do have some slightly more affordable Calibrachoas coming up in the near future, but these have been so beautifully bred. And if you are somebody that likes your pots and hanging baskets to really stand out, if you love unusual colour schemes of varieties, I think those are absolutely spectacular. And the Calibrachoa is, as Bex said, it's a mini petunia. So treat it as a petunia. It flowers and forms like a petunia, but the flowers are smaller, a little bit more delicate, but they are doubles, and the colours are sensational. I love the bicolour ones.
Yeah, I think you've got a really nice mixture of colours included in there.
I know if my mum's watching, I hope she is. My mum will love those.
Yeah, and you know what? They're going to work in your hanging baskets. They're going to work in pots beautifully as well. They'll tumble and trail. They'll just look gorgeous all
Let's just
summer.
show you the size of the plug as well. So that's the size. That's already well established.
Yeah, it is.
I want to nick that 9cm pot that the sedum's in.
I can get it for you. Hold on.
Just take the sedum out and put a bit of compost in, can you, Bex? We'll just show. This is a live gardening impromptu demo. This is how easy it is, right? So we've literally just got a 9cm pot. I never throw pots away, ever, because you never know when you may need them. And that's all you have to do. Now that took us, what, 30 seconds? If that, that's it. Keep it frost-free. You'll be amazed how quick that grows. I mean, I'm lucky I've got a greenhouse. Bex has got a conservatory that is now an official greenhouse. That, on a sunny windowsill, is going to... At this time of year, when there's a lot of light around, it's getting warmer, that can double in size.
Yeah, it's so quickly. I love this time of year because everything just grows really quickly now, doesn't it?
Yeah, almost overnight. So... they're lovely. They're a little bit different. Absolutely beautiful. And they are 401563 for the Calibrachoa Kalita Double Collection. All doubles. Now, the Calibrachoa, the Busy Lizzies, the Begonias...
Paradaisies.
Paradaisies and Pansies, we've got all of those, but these two will... That one is totally winter hardy, and that one is Farm of the Frost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but these are totally winter hardy, so you can plant these out right now. I've got a few pots that do look a bit miserable now. Have you?
Yeah, to be fair. It happens, doesn't it? But you can brighten them up very quickly, very, very easily.
Some of my bulbs have gone over. I'll be honest, some of my winter bedding hasn't done that well because it's been so wet.
It's been very wet, hasn't it?
But yeah.
That's basically it. So much rain.
So,
but we're over that now, aren't we?
We are.
I think so.
We are. It's definitely we're getting more sun, less rain, more daylight, and these will just instantly brighten up your garden. They're called the Pansy Cool Wave. We think this is the best performing pansy we've ever come across.
Yeah, genuinely.
It really is.
And it's got a beautiful trail to this as well. So if you want to put these in your window boxes or even in pots just to tumble over the edge and hang in baskets, the trail that you get on these are incredible. They're incredibly hardy as well. And you just get waves of these beautiful shades, those gorgeous kind of lilacs and deep purples with the mixed in with the more, you know, whites and lighter blue colours. It's definitely a high-end colour range that you get with your berries and cream.
Yeah, really sophisticated, really truly beautiful. But these are just true performers. They will not stop flowering all summer long. You get hundreds and hundreds of flowers. They do, as Bex was saying, they trail, they cascade. They're garden ready, so these can go right in your pots and your hanging baskets now. So I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to take one of these out. But that is the size. God, these are really rooty. Just bear with me. I'm going to have to turn that upside down. Oh, there you go. Don't do that. But in fact, do you know what? I'll be honest. I say don't do that. I'm just going to pick it up. Because they're really well grown. They're really well rooted, and all they need to do is go straight in your pots, your beds and borders. So they are garden ready. They want to go in your garden right now, and you are getting 10 of those for just $12.99. It's the most incredible variety. Now, a lot of people use this as an annual, but actually you can get these to flower year after year. They will die down as it gets hotter in summer, so they'll start to die back, and they might start to get a little bit leggy. Just chop them right back, put them in a shadier place, and they will come back year after year. But you might just want to treat them as an annual. The choice is yours. But it is just the most prolific flower that you could imagine. The flowers are slightly smaller than some of the varieties of pansies, but you get a lot more of them. They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah, I love the colour mix. You know, I love a pansy anyway. I love the little faces that you get on them, but it's that colour mix with the berries and cream that really do set this apart.
Now, Bex,
yes.
I know you were always into girl power.
I was also into the Power Rangers as well.
Really?
So we'll mix the two things up, shall we?
So I'm going to figure that you're also into your Power Daisies.
I love these. I love the tango orange, the bright sunshine yellow. I love the display that we're showing you in the picture here, where you mix the two up together and you get those yellows and orange. I mean, it's just a perfect colour combination, isn't it? And those lovely daisy-like flowers that you're getting in there. I just think that's an incredible display. You can obviously separate them if you want to create a display like that. I personally like it all mixed up together. And these... Okay, so these are incredible. They're what we call a hardy annual. These will flower for you. As you can see, there's one of them that's got flowers on there now. I can see buds on a couple of the others. But normal flowering time, we say for these, sort of May, right the way through into November and December. These are going to be... Well, these are just going to last you for such a long time. They're going to add that extra zing into your pots, into your borders. It creates this lovely, neat, mounded shape anyway. You get lovely glossy foliage, and it does get smothered, absolutely smothered, just like this picture, in those flowers.
And I grew these last year, and I had them instead of marigolds. I mentioned earlier that I was sick of marigolds getting eaten by slugs. I mean, you can use straws and things, but didn't really work with the area that these were in. But these were brilliant.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
They really were.
I mean, they are edible as well, by the way.
Are they?
And you can use the petals. The petals have been used as a saffron substitute in the past.
I didn't know they're edible.
Yeah.
I'd have had a munch on those last year.
I just brought back that memory whenever you were eating all the... You were eating all the flowers, weren't you? Do you remember when we were doing the violas?
Yeah.
Every time we brought a viola, Shaun was having a little munch on it.
That actually tasted quite good. I was trying to be healthy. I had.
Eating
Remember,
viola
we always start the day off in the potting shed. I'm really bad. I always buy a cheese and bacon. What is it?
Turnover thing. Oh, it's delicious though, isn't it?
I have that. We have coffee, and we also have.
Normally they've got a pack of donuts, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're a day old, but they're delicious, and they're only 60p.
For 4. So what's a boy supposed to do? So
15p a donut.
So that's how we started our day. So to eat the odd viola, I'm thinking I'm being healthy.
Where are we going?
Really busy. So quick reminder: if you spend £40 or more, you get free delivery. So get your compost right now. It's the best compost we know of. It's the one we use in the nursery. The formulation has been perfected for many, many years. Delivered free of charge, and club members will only pay £22.40, and you get your free peony from Sarah Bernhardt as well, and that's 125 100 litres. Right. I'll let you get. I mean, we could both talk about these all day. Go on, Bex.
Okay, so these are our heavy-duty pots. They're 30-litre capacity. You do get 4 of them. This is the best price that we've done on these, I think. £16.19 if you're in the club. £17.99 if you are not. These are probably one of the best purchases you will make because they're going to be so long-lasting. I've had mine for a good 5 or 6 years. Shaun's had his for over a decade. They are still going strong, but they have so many uses. I'm growing an apple tree, some garlic. What's it called?
You've got a cordyline there.
Thank you,
yes.
cordyline.
I knew you had a cordyline.
And I've got a rose bush growing in them at the moment, but I've also got these. I use it as a general garden truck. Every time I'm out in the garden, if I'm doing anything in the garden, I go to the shed, I get my little knee pad, I get my trowel, I get my fork, I carry it out into the garden, just like this.
Yeah,
I then use it to collect all the weeds up, which then go into the, before they go into the big bin. I've got one underneath the side in the kitchen that I put all my recycling in before it goes out to the big bag. It's great for just storing stuff in. They are ridiculously hard wearing.
And I remember, there's me, by the way, putting obviously logs, taking us out to log burner. But the other week, my green bin was full. So do you know what? All the other stuff I just stored in these. I've got 10 of these, and I literally had them full of stuff, until the green bin was emptied. I did grow tomatoes in these last year. I did a little experiment. I grew some tomatoes in the smaller pot, some in these, and the ones in here did so much better. Great for potatoes. And if you're trying to get your order to over £40 today to get your free P&P, Bex and I could not recommend those highly enough. In fact, we would both say that is the best product we've ever bought from YouGarden. That's a non-plant.
That's a non-plant.
Yeah.
That will last you for such a long time. You'll find so many uses for them. They are actually a commercial growing pot. They've got drainage in the bottom, but they've also got those big drainage holes around the side as well that you can see in the picture there. And that is what really makes them amazing for growing things in, because things don't get waterlogged.
And right, let's try and break it. Come on.
Oh, I know.
We're live right now, because I've had mine over 10 years and I can break anything and everything. Right, come on, we're going to do tug of war.
Ready?
Right, heavy duty plant pot tug of war. 3, 2, 1, off we go. My knuckles are going white. Look, I was giving that a really good tug, you can see. But they really are strong.
Those handles are moulded on. They will not break. And if you've bought those cheap plastic floppy garden trucks in the past, you will know what we mean, because the handles always break off those.
Yeah, my mum had one of those, and I managed to break it by overfilling it, and then the handle just snapped off. So they're really, really good.
Excellent.
Fantastic reviews on our website, 130011. Right, we've also got some massive reductions and some great special offers on some of our more decorative ornamental pots. So buy one and get two free on this one. That's amazing, isn't it?
That's such good value for money, absolutely. Buy one, get 2 free. Put one of them in your basket and use the code. Another 2 will magically appear. This is definitely one I am suggesting you multi-order on. Maybe put 2 in your basket, enter the code, and you will get 6 of these delivered to your door.
And remember, postage, you only pay 1 postage per order. But if your order is hovering just under £40, it's a great one to get your basket over £40, and then you'll get free postage.
Yeah.
So any order over £40 today will get free delivery. Great drainage in those as well.
Yeah, great drainage. Also the channels for the water to run away, and I just think that these are really handy. They're great for, you know, spring bulbs, summer bedding, winter bedding. They're a great one to add into your garden displays for you to be able to quickly and easily change things over. You know, you might put petunias in them, and then later on in the season you put, I know, some busy lizzies or something in there. You could just very quickly and easily change displays.
And I think when you've got maybe a slightly smaller garden or smaller spaces in your garden, it is great sometimes just to be able to quickly refresh things. And because they are smaller pots and, as you said, easy to plant up, you can plant those up in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, not much compost required. It's a job that doesn't take long at all. It's very simple to do.
Yeah. And they look really attractive. You might have some little steps in your garden. I've got some little steps going down to the back of my garden. They look fabulous down the steps, don't they?
I like that. You know, either side of the steps, or I'm using my, you know, my table outside at the moment for putting flower pots and things on, because we're not sitting out there yet.
But how lovely is that to look out and see it all there?
It's lovely. It's right outside the kitchen window, so I just look out. At the moment, I've got all my tulip pots all over the table. So
I have to say, they do look amazing.
They're beautiful.
They really are, aren't they?
I'm sure that's the peach variety I planted.
Children's with bulbs, you just forget, don't you? I mean, my mum was, because I look after my mum's garden. I do the planting, but she maintains it. And about a month ago, she was, probably 6 weeks ago, she was like, I don't think you've planted enough bulbs for me this year. That's a very good impression, by the way.
It's a very good impression.
Yeah, she said, I'm very disappointed. I know you've been busy with this YGFC thing. But you've not planted enough bulbs. And now she's like, there's loads of bulbs. But you just forget, don't you? But there's loads. But I even had forgotten. I was sat there feeling guilty thinking, I'm sure we got loads of free ones from YouGarden, because we got them generally, they were free with lots of orders. Yeah. But anyway, they've all come up now. But I think that's part of the fun with bulbs, isn't it?
It is the fun. I was out there yesterday and my husband kept popping out and he kept hearing me say, what's this? What have I planted? He just kept hearing me saying all these things, and he's like, I think you should change your social media profile to the accidental gardener.
Brilliant.
Because I just kept walking around going, what's this? What did I plant here? I've no idea what I put in this pot.
It's a joy garden, isn't it? Right, Philip has just messaged in. Good afternoon, Philip.
Hello, Philip.
And great.
The sunflower sensation has arrived. He said he loves how healthy they look. And of course, he got his free blooming fast as well, because that was the free gift that we did with that particular week.
Well,
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
Your strawberries are starting to fruit, Alison. The flowers are coming.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Mine aren't. I mean, the foliage is growing, but I didn't see any flowers yesterday. That was Charlotte, apparently.
Keep those messages coming. And don't forget, if you want to follow Bex and I on social media, because we put a lot. I mean, we both put lots of pictures of our plants for you to follow. So mine's Shaun Ryan, presenter and plant man. I put most things on Facebook. I do a little bit on Instagram, and you're the opposite way around, really, aren't you?
Well, I post it on Instagram, but it tends to go on Facebook as well. So I do a bit of both. I'm Rebecca Bex Edwards, or Bex Edwards My Garden. And who was it who told us to shut up about how nice it is?
Margaret.
Margaret's in Edinburgh, and it's still raining up there.
Sorry.
It's bouncing off the ground. Sorry, Margaret. I hope it gets nicer for you.
But Edinburgh is beautiful, even when it's raining, it's beautiful.
I had a great holiday up in Edinburgh a few years ago. It was lovely. Walked up the Royal Mile.
It is lovely, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, do you know what? You're right. I need to book a little weekend.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. I'll pick a weekend when it's not raining there. Right, loads more pots for you reduced.
What else are we doing? Eclipse.
Yeah, best price ever on these beauties.
They're really handy, these. So the little trellis bits just clip into the corners. So if you don't want the climbers, you can just take them off and have the beautiful pots there as well. But these are great for sort of smaller climbers. We've got, we haven't shown it to you today, but we've got the Boulevard Patio Clematis collection, which is a shorter variety of clematis. That works perfectly in here. I've got the purple one, the Boulevard Clematis growing in here, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a great price on here too.
And yeah, they are just so pretty, those, aren't they?
Really pretty.
Really
Love
pretty.
that brushed champagne kind of colour that you've got there as well.
And then, what else we got, Bex?
Tower pots.
Oh, right.
My fave.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? We have been bringing these for quite a few years with YouGarden, and everyone loves them.
Yeah.
They really do. They are just fabulous. I think the design is really clever on this one.
It's super clever. In fact, so this is how it comes to you. So it comes all separated like this. And then what you do is you just build it up. And they literally just click into place. So you can just start with the bottom section and then clip the other two sections on as and when you need to. I never do. To be honest, I put them all up together because it looks really pretty anyway. You've got that lovely brushed gold effect. You know, even while you're waiting for something to climb up it still looks really pretty.
And the great thing, it's going to look good and stay looking good. Unlike wooden trellis that rots and breaks.
Yeah.
And it does. This will stay looking good for many years, if not decades. That's your Wisteria Falls,
Wisteria Falls, yeah. So that was taken in September last year. Very excited. I'll obviously take pictures this year once the foliage and the flowers come again. But basically anything that climbs will work beautifully in the tower planter. And the beautiful thing about it is it's self-contained. It's plastic. It's lightweight. It's UV stabilised. It's frost resistant. If I want to pick it up and move it, I can do that really, really easily.
And if you got the free sweet pea seeds from us as a free gift a little while ago, Bex has already grown hers, they've germinated, you've planted them. There's still time. I only planted my sweet peas last week, I'll be honest.
The seeds?
The seeds, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll germinate really quickly, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, I was just a bit slow getting them done. But there's still time to plant your sweet peas, plant your seeds, get them sprouting and put them in your tower pots. But you are getting two, remember, on the double up deal today for $39.98. That is amazing value. 130461, but those tower pots are incredible and they look great as well. Right, we're going to go back to where we started though, and we've got a plant that's very hard to get hold of in the UK, and the Oleander is coming up in a second, but we've just had a message from Louise.
About the tower pot, she says these are brilliant for keeping her bulbs protected from her puppy. the duck carnelians are in the tower.
That is a really good point.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And do you know what someone else said? Who was it that said this to me? Was it Adam? In winter, even when you've not got, you can pretty these up. You could create a lovely Christmas decoration with these just by putting a load of lights and stuff around it.
Great idea.
I know. I really liked that idea.
You're right.
Like you could create this lovely sort of sparkly Christmas tree tower. It's just a simple thing.
Do you know what I'd do? Actually, that's a great idea. But I'd probably
isn't it?
put something like a holly in there or something like that, and then put all the lights.
And then put the lights all around
so
it.
something quite short, maybe, but then over the. Yeah.
I really like that idea.
That's
which is exactly what I'll be doing with the two that I've got the sweet peas in.
So we talk about Adam Wilcott, and that's why he has won numerous awards as a garden designer at Chelsea.
He'll be back on Sunday with me because you're just having some family time.
Yeah, we're just having an Easter Sunday with the family.
Very nice.
Yes.
Adam and I will be here on a Sunday for you.
Hopefully it'll be nice. You never know when all the family get together, do you?
It's always fun, isn't it?
That'd be fine. No, we sit our nieces as well. They're always so well behaved, actually.
There you go.
Right. These have been so popular. Did somebody buy several lots of these, did we hear? Yes. Right, okay. I'm not surprised. So, Oleanders, extremely hard to get hold of in the UK. We work with the top breeder, we believe, in the world in Sicily. So we've got an amazing relationship with this company. They're a family business. And we were saying earlier, there's a wait list to actually work with them.
Yeah.
So for us to get these Oleanders in the UK is incredible, and we believe them to be the very best quality. But let's talk about Oleanders, because, I mean, if you've been to Spain, France, Italy, America, you see these growing naturally, but they can be grown very well in the UK. We had a lovely message coming earlier and a photo from West Yorkshire from Ian, and his were looking fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very, very easy to grow here. You know, they're quite easy. They thrive on neglect, in actual fact. That's the standard, and we do a standard version. I'm sure we'll be bringing it to you at some point in the future. The ones we've got today are the bush variety, the shrub. I mean, they just look incredible, don't they? Evergreen, first of all, so you've always got that beautiful foliage, and then you get these shades of pink flowers on here that last for such a long time. Right the way through the summer months you will get these. They're really long lasting, and the key to success here is they thrive on neglect. They need very little attention from you. Once you've planted them, You don't really need to do too much. You might want to trim back the flowers as they fade. That'll encourage new ones to come through. But you don't even really need to do a huge amount of pruning with these because they grow quite neatly.
The main thing, you've got to think about where these grow naturally. They need full sunshine. If you put them in part shade, they just won't flower as much and they'll go a bit leggy. So they need full sun and they need well-drained soil. They don't want to be in cold, wet, boggy soil. So do not put them in your border, your clay soil.
They won't be happy.
I know you won't.
If I were to get I mean, I don't have any Oleander, but if I were to get these, they would be going in pots.
Yeah, of course
because they're just not going to work in my clay soil.
And so they're just the golden rules. They are harder to -5, but as they get more mature, they will tolerate lower temperatures. So I've got a friend that had his out in the garden, quite exposed. It got to about -8, -9. He did lose the top of the Oleander, I'll be honest, but he's got loads of new growth coming from the bottom. And actually, when these get going, they can be quite vigorous in terms of growth, or reasonably vigorous, I should say. But in a pot, they're probably only likely to get to about 1 metre by 1 metre here in the UK. Repeat flying, lovely sweet fragrance, those flowers. I think they are just incredible. And £15 each it works out.
Yeah,
on the
it's
buy one, get one free.
amazing value
And just
for
look
money.
at those.
If you do your research and do some price comparisons out there, I don't think you'll find any for this amazing value. £15 each and a buy one, get one free.
And we don't think it'll be this quality either.
No.
Just bear in mind, you cannot eat any part of an Oleander. That applies to humans and all pets as well, so do bear that in mind. And when you're pruning, we do say wear protective gloves just to protect you from the sap, just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a buy one, get one free. You put one in your basket, put the code, and you will magically see another one appear along with your free gift. Perhaps you want some pots to go with them though, because we've got the perfect suggestion, which is a double up deal. So these are our 36 centimetre square Diablo planter. I think they are some of the most beautiful planters out there, particularly when we're talking about plastic pots, but
I think
pots
the most,
in general.
Some of the most realistic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know they were plastic.
Really realistic.
Right, these are on close out, run down. When they're gone, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is we will not be able to get these back, and that's why we're giving the best price today, 2 for $27.99.
And they've been selling really well today,
Is
I
there a
believe.
price on the bottom of these?
I think there is, yeah.
Oh, here we go. I knew we'd look. So we did sell one of them for $24.99 on the show, but the real price originally on these was $29.99.
Wow.
Each.
There you go.
So if you think about it, you can get 2 for less than the price of one. They work out £14 each today.
£14
I knew that was a really good price.
Yeah, it is. That's an amazing deal for one of the most realistic looking plastic pots ever. And they're really sturdy, they're really strong, they're UV stabilised, frost resistant. These are good plastic. They are designed to last you for years. You would never know this was a plastic pot.
Well, Simon's just messaged saying it's great to have the dream team back.
Hey!
Thank you, Simon.
It
And
is
the good news
dream team.
it is. We do. Unfortunately, we just can't always do the shows together.
No.
But somebody was excited to see
Somebody was really excited then. I don't know if you heard that. Somebody was shouting.
We are back together tomorrow, again from 10 o'clock to 1. And then you've got Adam, who's a brilliant gardener with Bex on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, we'll be here 10 till 2
And I think we're
on
together
Sunday.
next week, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember.
We
Wednesday
are.
and Thursday?
Yeah, we are. We are. Knew we were.
There you go.
So you need to get those pots. We may have some left on Sunday, but we just don't know, to be honest. We really don't. They're fabulous, and they're authentic, they're UV resistant, they're frost proof, they're lightweight. Now, the Viburnums are incredible today as well. Do you know what? I say incredible today. These have looked incredible since November, haven't they?
Yeah, they really do, and this is why we should have viburnums in our garden. You might know viburnums as being, a big bush in your garden, and they are fantastic like that. But this is the viburnum standard, and I love a standard because I just think it adds that touch of elegance, that touch of class. But what it'll give you is evergreen foliage, but then you get berries, you get flowers, you get fragrance, and you get it right the way through from probably about November. The flowers start to appear on here, and they keep going. As you can see, they're still going right now.
I saw a very interesting talk about getting 365 days of colour in your garden. And imagine that. Imagine if every day your garden looked great. And actually, it can be achieved with the right plant mix. So, wintertime, which is very difficult compared to summer. It's easy to get things, and not being funny, but it's easy to get colour in summer.
Of course,
a little bit more tricky in winter.
Yeah.
This flowers from November time all the way through to
Probably
March,
about,
April.
Yeah, March, April time. I mean, it's still in flowers now.
Yeah.
You can see we've got berries coming on there as well. We're right towards the end of March, and the fragrance is delightful.
And I'm going to suggest, if you get a little bit down in winter, have one of these either side of your front door. So every time you come home or leave home, you're going to have a smile on your face. And even when the flowers have gone over, you've still got this gorgeous shape, you've still got the gorgeous foliage, we're getting the berries right now. It is evergreen, it's a top performer. And I think, well, I know the price is amazing. I saw some in a garden centre for $59.99 recently, and I don't think they were any bigger. I'd be honest, if they were big, I'd say so. I don't think they were.
No.
That's amazing value.
Yeah, and they're just going to keep getting better, honestly. And it's year-round interest that you've got here, but most specifically and importantly, it's winter interest that you're getting with this one. So
buy a pair of those. You'll get free postage if you do, because if you spend over £40, you get free delivery, of course, as well. They are amazing. Love them with the pots, don't you?
Oh, you've got these, haven't you?
Yeah, but mine are in smaller pots, and I think...
You need to go bigger.
Yeah.
Under plant as well. I really do recommend this, because obviously once the flowers fade, you'll still have the glorious foliage, but then in the summer you want to put some... I knew you were going to do that. Put some summer bedding underneath, and then you'll get that lovely tiered effect going on as well.
We just prop those up so you can see them. I'll keep my hands off that now, Bex.
Oh, that does smell really
Doesn't
good.
It?
So delightful.
But I think that looks great with the planters. Right, shall I put it back safe?
Yeah, let's put it... or it'll fall off. We're going to go back to our summer bedding. We're going to start off with our glimmer collection over here, because we knew this would be the favourite, actually. We knew the summer bedding was what you wanted.
I think you can always get your basic bedding anywhere, can't you? You see the supermarkets, don't you, with... They tend to sell the basic marigolds, the standard busy lizzies, the single flying petunias that are not the really great breeds like Sophinia, or brands I should say. These are really special because they are doubles, so they are like little roses.
Little roses,
gorgeous.
Absolutely. And they're really sort of bushy, neat, mounded plants that you get from these. And they work great in sort of hanging baskets. You get that lovely kind of round ball effect from them, but they also are going to work beautifully in pots as well as fillers in borders. You can easily put these into your borders as well. Lovely double flowers in there.
And the value on the double up deal is really good.
It is.
I think every year we sometimes just want those special bedding plants, those that are not readily available, those that have been truly well bred, and these certainly have. And busy lizzies, that's what I call them, they are so easy. They don't mind a bit of shade. They really do really quite well in shade, actually.
They do, yeah. They're not bothered at all. But they're just robust and they're reliable. They're not ones that you need to... Like you were saying, you need 70% of your garden that's easy. This is one of the ones in your garden that's going to be easy.
I think I read that. I think it's on the YouGarden website as
yeah,
well.
Maybe.
Because I know sometimes when I've overstretched myself and every bit of the garden is hard work and needs constant looking after, it can be a labour of love and a bit exhausting.
Yeah, it makes you not want to go out there.
But you do need some easy stuff.
Yeah.
You do need some pots that you can just like let them do their own thing.
That's going to be totally reliable and give you months and months of colour, and that's exactly what this is going to give you. June, July, August, September, October. Flower, flower, flower.
I love the flowers though. That for me, those little rosebuds as you described them are just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the colours.
And they are all labelled as well. So as we showed you earlier, because you're going to get 2 of each colour and variety, and those numbers there that are letters rather. So you've got the A. Can you see that? There you go. A, B, C, D, E, F down there. It corresponds here. Can you see there? That's your F, your E, your D. So do bear that in mind if you want to colour coordinate. All you need to, I know we're running out of time, when you get them home, give them a good water. They'll have been in transport for maybe a couple of days. That's a little bit dry. Put them in a little bowl of water for 10 minutes or so. I did say half an hour the other day, but I've been doing quite a few of these recently. And actually, when they're that size, 5 or 10 minutes and they rehydrate. And then just keep them frost-free. Pop them on, keep them frost-free, and then pop them in your hanging baskets, your beds and borders when you know there's going to be no more frosts.
Exactly the same story with the Begonia Saharas, but these are your pro plugs. So these are smaller plug plants. This represents incredible value for money here. This is where you can really make the most out of every penny that you have got to spend. Because imagine these as larger plug plants. If you're buying 40 of them, obviously the cost would need to be higher. But we're keeping the cost low by buying pro plugs, and it's exactly the same. You're just going to pot them on and grow them on before you then plant them out into their final location.
And we both love the journey. You know, I've planted up some pro plugs about a week ago, maybe 10 days, and they're already so much stronger. So
probably. This time of year, you will see such fast growth. You know, they'll double their size very, very quickly. Clusters of these gorgeous shades, and I love the contrast that you get with the Begonia Sahara against the green foliage, the bronze foliage, and that beautiful dot of yellow in the centre of each of those petals. I think it's really pretty.
We never know what each season's going to bring, and we don't know what sort of a summer we're going to get, and it may be really wet, it may be really dry. So you maybe want to edge on the side of caution, and these are very weather resistant, and that's why they're used commercially in displays as well. So pretty much guaranteed to do well whatever the summer brings. And I think we're probably going to have a mixture. We're probably going to have like some really hot weeks, some really wet weeks, some windy weeks, some snow. Who knows? Right, no, but you just don't know nowadays. But they are very, very weather resistant. We've just heard you love the berries and cream today as well.
Of course, they're always a favourite, berries and cream. It's that colour combination, is it? Very designer looking, as you were saying. There's that particular brand. She does lots of that colour combination, the beautiful purples, the lilacs, the whites. I just love pansies. I love the little faces that you can see in them. It's the colour mix with this one that really, sets this one apart.
But it's a great variety, Bex, isn't it?
Wonderful variety. Really hardy, lovely trail that you get on here. We call it the best trailing pansy ever. And we genuinely do believe that, and we've grown these ourselves, and we can truly say that they trail absolutely gorgeously. And
they just repeat flower and flower and flower, all from now right the way through to until it gets really hot.
Yes.
And then they don't like the sun. They're like me. They'll kind of go, oh, it's a bit hot for me. But what you can do is cut them back, put them in a cool place if they're in pots, and they will bounce back in the autumn time.
Absolutely, yeah, they will do.
And pansies often self-seed as well, actually. Don't know if this variety, I've never done that, but I've always used them as an annual. But they are delightful. They are one of the best performers, and they are garden ready. These are fully winter hardy.
Totally.
So don't worry if they can. Oh, it's a bit cold still.
No. Down to -25. These are hardy. This is not an issue at all. You can plant these, no problem.
If we get -25 in the next few months, we are going to be.
Well, there's certainly a problem with.
There certainly is. So berries and cream saving £2 today. 410112. Now, some of you may be watching us on your smartphones, your tablets. You can watch us on your big TV, and you can always catch us up online as well.
Yeah, so on YouGarden.com or on YouTube, you can catch up on shows. You're looking for that little symbol, the top of the screen if you're on your computer. It might be down the bottom if you're on your phone or your tablet. That's if you want to watch us while we're live, or if you miss a show, you want to come and catch up, you go to that yellow box here. There's the specials that we were talking about. That's Shaun with Dave the Plant Man last week. That's my show with Adam on Sunday. There, we've got Greg Wallace and our head gardener, Peter
There's
McDermott.
some good shows to catch up on, isn't there?
Some really good ones. You can just click in, you can watch at your leisure, you can fast forward, you can rewind, it's entirely up to you. But that is where you can go and catch up on any shows that you've missed.
But there's a couple of shows there that are, I say, a little bit different. Peter with Greg Wallace and myself with, of course, Dave the Plant Man. That was a really good show, wasn't it? All about really growing your own and eating better.
I mean, we've gone on to something that looks pretty unhealthy there, but I'm sure apparently it's got honey and whiskey in it. I didn't see that bit of the show. But it's got raspberries in it, so it's fine. Yeah,
and honey's good for you. My mum would definitely say a tot of whiskey is good.
It's all about balance, isn't it? It's all about balance.
It is. Do you know, it's been delightful to be back with Bex and back with you. It's been great, hasn't it? It's been really good.
Should we do it all again tomorrow?
I think we should. And we've saved a few things back for tomorrow, haven't we?
We have. There's lots of things that we did not get to see today, so we will be bringing those up onto the tables for you tomorrow, 10 till 1 o'clock.
But don't forget, you can still order after the show. Spend £40, you get free postage. The free gift is same with Bernhardt, but you've got to use the offer code YGTV1324 to get all the best promotions.
Absolutely. It'd be really nice to have your company again tomorrow, so please come and join us 10 till 1 tomorrow.
Take care.